Step up in this game like I'm hammering nails. Earth's a flat plane, listen up, I'll tell you tales. Home Depot vibes on my tools, no fails. Level up my vision while the world just derails. Jared said it first, now I'm chasing the truth. First wanna know, is he shilling or aloof? I'm flexing with the facts while they playing the fool. Flat earth, no curve, I'm breaking all the rules. Earth is like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. Like a Home Depot. Rolling deep through Antarctica, you know what's up. Snowflakes in the air, yeah, we sipping from the cup. Well, Duffy said, trust me, I came out of the blue. Started from the hustle, now I'm building my crew. Wait, I'm stacking up truth like I'm lumber from the store. Got the blueprint, baby, I'm ready for war. See the horizon straight, no dip in my sight. Thug life on the flat, bringing knowledge to the fight. With this line, Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. So I'm here to break walls, I'm kicking down doors, hash street life, I'm hustling, what's mine is ours. A whole new vision, we gon' stack and we gon' rise. With my crew by my side, we defy all the lies. Earth is like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. So remember this hustle, keep your eyes on the prize. Earth is flat like a board, like the ones on a 5. We'll build this place together, ain't no mountain too high. Home Depot mindset, we gon' reach for the sky, yeah. So remember this hustle, keep your eyes on the prize. Earth is flat like a board, like the ones on our 5. We'll build this place together, ain't no mountain too high. Home Depot mindset, we gon' reach for the sky, yeah.
There is no triangulation in celestial navigation, so it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation, so it is actually triangulation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation to the GP. So you can draw it on your chart, draw a line there, and then you do it for all three, and you get your intersection. So it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation.
Are you serious? Are you? The double-speaking McBooger-eating, ball-tard bum-sniffer wouldn't know what the sextant or celestial navigation were if they climbed up his arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in concertina wire.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
What the hell did you just say?
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
Say what?
Yes, a gas giant bounces radar.
How in the world can a
Gas giant
be
solid enough? So yeah, I don't know you
dumbass cracker?
So yeah, I was being a hyper. That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
You are so dumb. Damn.
So what was the last thing you guys were watching or into? before you converted? Like, what was that?
All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you one guess.
Is it my sister?
And we're off. As usual, if you like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Throw it on over to Discord and check if there's any authors over there. One just snuck in. I just saw him. Little stinker.
Evening.
7 minutes extra time, and he played like 11. So it's not my fault. Argentina 3, Egypt 2. Cracking game.
I heard the U.S. lost yesterday.
Yeah. Funny game, funny story, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
I mean, you played brilliant, but you just didn't turn up yesterday.
I didn't
turn up.
I didn't play anything out. It's not we. I didn't do jack.
No, you're partially responsible.
I am not.
You are. All Americans are responsible for watching it and giving like PMA, positive mental attitude, to their team. That's why you lost, you see, because Trump took it all away from you.
I have never watched a full soccer game, professional soccer game in my life.
If England get to the final, you got to promise me then that you'll watch that.
Yeah, if England makes it to the final, yeah, probably. Well, I'll watch it, Adam.
Yeah, I might just come round.
Yeah, Adam, was the red card necessary, or was it a wrong decision? Because that's where it all lies, really, for America and their team. Do you remember? One of their best players got a red card. Which meant he should have got a suspension, right, for one game, you know.
Who cares?
Should have been banned for one game.
Who cares? They lost.
Yeah.
No, this is before. This is what ruined you see. Because Trump's got involved. So, no, I don't think it was in any way a red card.
Right.
Jim.
Right. Yeah.
So when Trump's got involved, and you're looking at, I'm not arse, because like the gods of football have delivered a bit of justice. Poor kid shouldn't be missing a game they're probably going to lose as they did when he's playing. Yeah. For some idiot in a video studio making something up. He's jumped in the air and he's landed. As he's landed, they've landed together, and that's just a collision that happens in football. Poor kid. Right. Yeah. So, and here's the irony in it that I mean, he shouldn't be playing for America anyway, should he? Because he's one of these. He's one of these people whose parents just happen to have their child in America and then moved on. But that is against what Trump fought and lost in the U.S. Supreme Court, isn't it? So he is a U.S. citizen, and Trump was fighting for him to get him in. So Trump's done this stuff, John, and caused a furore in world football, because they've basically changed the rules of football because Donald Trump asked. So that's why I think you're a bit demotivated. And like you say, he didn't turn up. It was a disappointing game against the Belgians. Not even a real country, Belgium. It's just a made-up country.
4-1 loss. Terrible.
So it's not a real. I was. You know what?
It's not.
You know what? I actually spent some time in Belgium. It was a real country then. What happened to them?
Yes, I've been there. They do good chocolate, don't they?
Yeah, but who are the Belgians? What are they there for? When did they arrive? How did they get rid of the Flemish?
They speak German, don't they?
They speak it all, mate. Congolese, even, don't they? In Belgium, it's the most like center. Is the anyway? Yeah.
Why do they call themselves Belgians with an N? November at the end when they're from Belgium. Wouldn't they be Belgiums?
That's right.
Aren't they Belgique to themselves?
I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, you said it, and I said, wait a second.
Yeah, but we're English, and we'll call people what we want, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what you call them. I think that's colloquial. They're not colloquially. I think that's their name, Belgians. Why the N?
Yeah, Belgian. That's right. He's right there.
Now with Japan, that ends in with an N. So
N,
Japanese, yeah, but that doesn't end. They're Japanese.
Yeah, but
Japan
they
is
could
the
also
country.
be Japanians.
Japan. Yeah, what the hell?
This conversation?
We just got into it. It's a good damn question, Flatsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, if you say so.
I mean, you're from Alabama. Are you an Alabamian?
Yeah, that's what you would be.
Yeah,
An
whatever.
Alabamian. Yes.
I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'm a Pennsylvanian.
The thing is with the Belgian chocolate, I liked the cheaper ones. The expensive ones were disgusting, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm also considered Texan because I spent some years there. I was married and my daughter was born there, so I consider myself half Pennsylvanian, half Texan.
Wonder why not Texian?
Texian.
Texanite.
It's not Texian, it's Texan.
I know, but that's pretty much what you were asking
it's
about.
It's not. See, Belgium has an I-U-M. Belgium.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, that's the name of the country.
But they call themselves, and
Belgians.
others call themselves Belgians.
Exactly.
Not with an.
All right.
We
End
already
of
been over this.
conversation.
Shut up. Already been over this, but there's a problem. I wanna suss this out.
I think what you're saying is, technically, they should be Belgiumians.
Yeah.
To maintain the foot. Yeah, Belgiumian.
No, Belgians.
Belgium.
Belgiumians.
Belgians. Belgians, basically. Belgians. Belgians.
So why'd you say they weren't a real country? What are you talking about?
It's like, well, they just appear, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really there. It's like when they carve up Europe and you get the formation of nations, yeah, then they're just this Belgian country that has all these beautiful cities and buildings.
Sure.
That we then wreck in the First World War, basically. Germans on one side, us on the other. Let's wipe that country out. They leave a little bit for the chocolate, but
I just don't know why it's not a full country, because I landed in there. I was in where we go? Antwerp.
Antwerp, oh yeah, yeah.
I was a little nervous because that was the first time I actually officially drove on a highway with an armored personnel carrier. So,
on the other side of the road, but that's the same as the US.
I can't. You know what? It's been so long. It was in 84, somewhere in that vicinity. 84. Yeah, I remember it was quite beautiful. I remember cobblestone streets. I remember I got on one cobblestone and I was concerned that the tracks would tear it up. So I purposely went nice and slow, and then when I turned, I made sure I did it somewhat cautiously.
Right, yeah, gently.
Yeah, I remember that because I respected it, and it was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can call it a city, but it was breathtaking. That's what I remember.
Lots of squares, I remember. And marketplaces where they were selling their chocolate.
On the chocolate thing. I don't like chocolate. Now, cacao. Holy cacao.
Yeah, Belgium's famous for chocolate, you see. That's the thing.
Now, I do that, but I'm not a chocolate eater per se. I don't like candies or candied chocolate. I've never been a big candy eater.
Yeah, I like chocolate, but I didn't like the expensive ones. That was the thing. When you go to the shops and the marketplaces, you have an opportunity to taste. And the ones that I like were the cheaper ones.
The hell are you talking about? Were you in Belgium?
Yeah.
Are you a Belgian?
No. I'm an African.
When were you in Belgium?
Oh, around about the time you were there, actually.
Really?
83, yeah, 82, 83, yeah.
You punk. All right, what else? So they lost. So does that all go by the wayside? This red card nonsense? Does that just?
Yeah, done.
Yeah,
he played.
Now, yeah.
Shut up, Jen. I'm asking Adam.
Yeah, you're done. We're through. Looks like we're playing Norway next.
Now, how you stack up against Norway?
Well, we're better than them. But they've got the best striker in the world, Erling Haaland. So they just beat Brazil. So it should be a good game.
Is a striker, is that like a center?
Yeah, the bloke up front who scores the goals for simplified.
There's not only one person that scores the goals in soccer. Am I right or wrong?
No, but your main guy up front is kind of like the guy that gets most of the goals. No one's precluded from scoring, not even the goalkeeper. It's not netball.
Right.
Yeah. Just give him the name, the striker. You've got your strikers, you've got your centre forward striker. They're the ones who score the goals generally.
I'm showing my ignorance because I really don't know the game.
Anyway,
we
played. Well, this is what I wanted to ask you. What advantage do people, the Denver Broncos, get when they play at home?
Well, they're at higher elevation, and if you're not used to that, then you get tired a little bit quicker.
Okay.
Speaking of, I think I've developed your fit of yawns.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
She's not talking to you. What do you mean, Adam? What were you in relation? What was this in relation to? That's why. And
I thought I'd link it to American football. Something you had, but something you know about. But when England played the other night, we played 2,000 feet higher than Denver in the Azteca Stadium in Mexico.
Oh, you were down in Mexico, really? Yeah. That would put a hurting on you if you're not used to it.
If you're not acclimatized, is the word, yeah? Acclimatized to that.
Shut up.
And 15 minutes in, right, we get a man sent off. So not only did we not be acclimatized, we were a man down that managed to hold out. So it was one of the best England performances, John, that I've seen. It was.
So what happened? Hold on. So they drugged somebody off the field? Was it one of England's team or the other team?
Yeah. So one of our guys did a foul, which did deserve a sending off. So he got sent off. Yeah. Unlike your guy who didn't deserve to get sent off, but ours did. So we were 2-1 up then. Got a man sent off. Luckily, got a penalty straight away, 3-1. Then they get a penalty, 3-2, and then we defended for our lives to stay. So it was heroic.
Mexico are a good team, you see.
Oh my God, Jen, you just can't fucking help yourself, can you?
Oh, come on. I'm here, that's why. Come on, man.
Shut the hell up when he's trying to talk.
He's just excited. It's English football. It's
come on, man.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm the noisiest dad there is in.
Don't be noisy here.
Now the Japanese did. They were a disappointment.
Well, at least they cleaned up the stadiums.
They do that well, don't they? If nothing else, you'd invite them for that.
This is what I heard from it. Like I said, I'm not a big soccer fan. I might become one. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me right now or my whole life. But
it's not something you become.
I wasn't fucking done yet. I really wasn't done yet. Thanks.
Oh, blimey.
What are you, Irish? That's strike 2.
What are you, Irish?
Fucking blimey. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Jen, was I fucking talking to you? My God. Trying to get your 10,000 words out or something?
We need to get them out, actually, because there's another game on at 9.
What time?
Switzerland, Colombia.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, I know you like watching it, but That's not your English. Where was I going with this?
You were saying you might get into football, but I mean, let's be honest. No, you're not.
It's not football. It's soccer.
See, that's why you'll never get into it until you call it by its true name.
I watched my kids. I took my kids to soccer practice and soccer games for years. Now, I liked when the kids played it. It was fun. I did actually play I would say 10 minutes of soccer when I was 9 years old, and I broke my leg. But it wasn't just because of soccer. It was a 3-pronged attack on my right knee, same day. First, did a bicycle jump. I was jumping. Oh, it was a great distance. Did a bicycle jump, but of course, when I pedaled my little butt off and hit the jump, I had my hands on the handlebar grips, and of course, when I pulled up, the handlebar grips came off. That poses somewhat of an issue of me flying through the air with no grip on the handlebars. And it just so happens when I landed, one of the handlebars went right into my right knee, the side of my right knee, and the other one went into those never regions, if you know what I mean. So that knocked me out for a little while. But I was 9 years old, so basically, Superman. Came back home, ate lunch, went back outside, and played football on an alley. Had rocks and stuff. I don't know why the hell we played on the alley. We had fields everywhere, but there you go. Playing on the alley, get tackled. I got tackled. I hit the same spot on that right knee. Hit it right on a rock, a jagged rock, right in the exact same spot. Yeah. That didn't feel too good. That was the second pronged attack. And then later that evening, I went to soccer practice, my first soccer practice, and guess what happened? Fucking kid went to kick the ball, missed the ball, kicked me right in that same spot, fractured my knee. Took 3 shots that day to fracture my friggin' knee. For the next 8 weeks, I had a cast from my ankle to the top of my thigh. I can't believe I got through that whole story without somebody interrupting. Holy shit. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah. I was too scared, to be honest with you. It's a man's game, football.
That's the only experience I personally had with soccer. I never played it again. Just one after. Now, we played, not formally, you know what I'm saying? We played it, but other than that, no. Then I had to deal with a fly swatter for 8 weeks, if you know what I mean, Adam. Especially in the summertime when you have a cast on, it gets kind of a little moist in there, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's a little itchy. So I need
that's all I've got at the moment. I've got my sister-in-law with us, haven't I? Because she just snapped her ankle. She's got like one of those plastic boots, and that's all I keep hearing. The rip of Velcro, so she can get in there and give it a scratch, loosen it off, then Velcro back again.
We might as well finish that. Yeah, but you get the idea with the fly swatter, because you can't get in there, right? Unless you get down in there, right, and scratch it all up and stuff. And for that 8 weeks, being 9 years old and absolutely out of my friggin' mind, because I'm Superman back then. So I played baseball and football with the cast on. Now, had to play actual football, Adam, our football. But I was relegated to steady quarterback and kicking. That's how I learned to kick with my left foot or my left leg.
I bet you look like a young Forrest Gump.
Oh, definitely. That cat. 9 years old. 9 years old. That cast ain't stopping me. We keep a long story short. 8 weeks come up, and I'm headed over there. They're getting ready to cut it off, and I can remember them taking a saw to it. And the doctor's telling me, he got me on the fucking table. He's telling me, he goes, listen, it's gonna be weak. All right, you're not going to be able to walk on this thing. He put the what did he have? A wheelchair right beside. He said you're going to have to get wheeled out of here. And some, hell are those things called? You know what I'm talking about. Crutches. And I'm like, I can remember him saying it. I'm saying, you're full of it, man. This ain't gonna. I'm gonna be able to just. He says it's good to go. The leg's good. He goes, but more or less the leg's atrophied. Right. You'll have that, and I wasn't having any of it. So after they sawed it off, I got that. I jumped down off the friggin' table and right down on my face because my leg didn't work. That's the end of that story. There you go. Finished it up. Shut up, Flatsy. But I recovered that.
Did you hear my yawn through the music?
I recovered that. It wasn't too long after that, right? Because Superman.
Yawn.
Wasn't yawn. That was back in the day. That's when we walked to school, right? In the wintertime. Through the snow drifts and shit.
Uphill both ways.
Right. That's right. Didn't think twice about anything physical or anything. It was just like day after day. Had to be home by the streetlights, when the streetlights came on. But other than that, wake up, breakfast, gone. To the wood line. Or with the bikes. Just gone day after day after day, riding trees, having crab apple battles, friggin' driving 8 miles away from home. Mom, they would, I don't know. They just such a different world now, right? Even with me, with my kids, I was hovering over them. Why was I doing that? I don't know why. My parents were like, get out of here. But
yeah, no.
If you weren't,
I think.
If you weren't back when the street lights came on, now there was a small issue.
Yep, that's right.
An issue.
Yeah, you got to be hands-on with your kids these days. That's why. And because you know what's going on out there.
And I endeavored to persevere to get back before those street lights came on, because the penalty for that, for how would you say, crossing the line and not being on time, was grounding. Grounding was the worst punishment. I'd rather take an ass whooping than grounding.
That's right.
Those were words. Oh my God, it was so painful to hear. Grounding.
Yeah, you sound like my husband, because he's like, we knew better than the school to call my mama up to that school because she had to work, and if we were the cause for her having to leave work and not getting paid, then our asses were grass. So we'd take the paddling over calling our mom every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna take the ass whooping. Yeah. Yep. That just I don't know if it was same for you, Adam, when you were a kid, but that grounding, it was just a death knell. It
was the same for all of us.
It hurt me right in my gut. I can remember being grounded one time for a week. It was so painful. I went friggin' crazy. Son of a. That's why I always endeavored to persevere. That's why I always endeavored to persevere to get back before those friggin' street lights came on, Adam.
Well, we had to be back by dark. Be back by dark. That was kind of all we had to be. Back for your tea if you were on school holidays. But we didn't call it grounded. It was right. You're not going out for 3 days, and you like saying, you go no. The worst thing. It's just like no. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Flats. Are you ready? We ready to move on to the actual show?
Yes.
We can. I can pivot quick. All right.
Before we do,
go ahead.
Question for Flatsy: did your friend win the hot dog eating competition?
You know he did. He had conviction.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he won.
How many?
17 hot dogs. And it was 10 more than the second place person. So he didn't even need to eat that many. He was just, he had conviction in his heart. He was going to win.
That's it. In how long? 17 in how long?
It was timed for 10 minutes. So they cut the time off at 10 minutes exactly and seen where everybody was.
Hilarious.
And that's the hot dog with the ketchup and the bun, everything.
Just, well, you could dip it in ketchup. You had to have the condiments that you wanted on it ready in a bowl next to you. But he just ate them. He raw dogged it. He was raw dogging it.
Wow.
He raw dogged the hot dogs.
Yes. And he got clever. He squished the bun up to like just squished it around the hot dog. And that's how he was able to eat it, like, no problem.
Squish the bun. That if you didn't dip that in anything, it would get kind of dry.
He had water.
Did they have? That's all they could have was water.
They had condiments too, but that would have taken too long if you were really serious.
What about lager?
And that was he could have if he wanted to from the bar inside.
That would have had him at hot dogs coming out of his ears and nose, though, wouldn't it? Really, gas.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. I'd say water was the best.
There's professionals that do that. That they're eating a lot more than 17 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they're freaking dipping it in water so that it slides down their gullet faster.
I can't believe that in those contests and the people that go after the like man versus food and eating tons and tons. I don't know how these people can do that. I don't see it. Like eating steaks, if you eat it in like the old 96er or something, there's another place that has something to that effect in Texas where you eat the whole steak within a certain time period. You get the steak free. I think it's 74 ounces. I was watching one the other day. It wasn't a direct one. I was watching a show that had the gentleman eating the steak. But it wasn't the primary show, and he was pretty confident. They got in there when he first started, and they took their time eating, and then after I think it was 45 minutes or something, they looked over and he ran out of time or something. I don't remember. He didn't make it. He didn't look very good. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, not for me. I'm not trying to do eating contests. Not my way of going.
No, not your way of going through life.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing I aspire. I don't aspire to be the winner of an eating contest.
Yeah.
I did it for charity for the Body Shop, and I won. Okay, there you go.
There you go. I don't believe you.
It's a strange thing to put on your CV.
It is a strange thing, wasn't it?
The thing is, these people that do this, they're generally not fat people.
No, they're not. Surprisingly, no. I like the British guy. Is that Man vs. Food? Is that British guy? I like him. I've watched him do it. Let's see, Man vs. Food. Who is that British guy?
No, that's the American guy called Adam, innit? That he was fat. Yeah, he was, but the British guy with the big beard.
Yeah,
but he looks ripped. He does. He looks like he eats that and then goes to the gym.
Yeah, I like him. What the heck's his name? I used to watch him a couple years ago. I really liked his. Betty and I watched a couple of his eating, but I really liked him. I just liked the way he carried himself.
I don't know where it would ever turn out useful as a superhero skill.
But I did like him.
Well, it won Cody a free Yeti cooler. So.
Oh boy. British food eater. I want to know his name, dude. What? They just. Who is the British, not food reviewer, famous British... Why am I putting food eater in?
I don't know. I was thinking
Eating contest. Food eating contest.
This doesn't make any sense. Sense, not cinch. Fuck.
Well, it'll narrow down your search.
Yeah, it's not a cinch.
If I see him, I'll recognize him. Him. The bearded... Is that bearded? Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I know it's him. We can't play it. Let's go to YouTube. It's going to give me his friggin' channel name. What a bunch of jerks. Jesus. Beard meets... Oh, Beard meets food. That's it. Beard meets food. Yeah. He's out of his mind, boy. Look at that. Let's go over here. Let's throw this over. What the what?
Why? I look at that and I think, like, I need friends.
Yeah.
Me too. No way could I eat all that.
What the hell are you getting? But he is cool, man. I do like him. I like his attitude. I like everything about him. Okay. You just never know where we're going to go during one of these shows, do you? All right. Now, oh, goodness gracious, I forgot about him. All right, let me orient you. We're on part 3 of Stephen Meyer, John Lennox, James Tour from 2 months ago. It's still 2 months ago. They are in Salzburg, Austria, home of Mozart. This is real highbrow stuff.
Superchat.
Super highbrow.
Apocryphon 3538 sent. Haven't been around in a while because I left Discord as I've grown tired of all the idiots from both sides, but I just wanted to say it's nice listening to your show again and the familiar voices.
Ah, cool. All right, Apocryphon, you're right. I haven't seen you in a coon's age. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Apocryphon. Welcome, mate.
Yeah. Nice to know where his favourite idiots.
All right, where was I at? All right, we're in Salzburg, Austria again with Stephen Meyer, John Lennox, and James Tour. I got my list out here. I found it earlier. I thought I lost it. Got Meyer, Lennox, and Tour. And Meyer's leading with a lot of X's. These X's represent things he's got wrong. We've got him with it's a shit ton, including one logical fallacy. Ain't been too many fallacies here. Just saying. Lennox 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 0 for James Tour thus far. Just want you to know that. So they're giving their take. Number one, they're not scientists, neither of them, except James Tour. And I gave apologetics for him on the first show. So, but currently he's definitely not a scientist, but we'll grandfather him in. So it should be one scientist and a mathematician, John Lennox, and Stephen Meyer. He has a PhD in the history of science and the philosophy of science. They put those two things in one category, Adam?
See, this is the trouble, isn't it? This over elevation of the term scientist. When I was a kid, that's a bit boring, isn't it? But if you actually describe who's there, a scientist, a mathematician, and a historian looking at all this stuff, they're better qualifications for what they're discussing. There's 3 eminent people in their field.
Yep.
To relegate it just to scientists, it might sound better, but to me it's not, because it dilutes the actual fields these guys are in.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. They should have just put what they were. Rather than 3 scientists, that's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, they could fool, Joe Coffey and Betty Breadmaker and 99% of the population, but come on, give us a break, man. To people that actually know what science is, this is a belly laugher. Or scientists are belly laugher. So, You're suspect right from the word go, but we've gotten past that. We're at 20 minutes, 12 seconds. We're at the end of this crayon muncher who thought he was a scientist, but he's been jacked yard so many times, glue sniffer. So we're going to end up here. Well, my new policy is to go for... What?
I remember now, don't we? Because it's the hair. The hair that couldn't exist in the year 2000 because he was already dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boy,
brother.
that reminds me of 2000. It's an inside joke from last show, ladies and gentlemen, where we were trying to figure out, before we knew when this gentleman died, Carl Sagan, we were trying to figure out just from his haircut and from the clothes that he's wearing and the girl that's across from him and her hairstyle, in what year quote unquote was this taking place. And then we slowly found out that Carl Sagan had died in 1996, and Flatsy kind of missed that point and said that her hair, the interviewer, was somewhere in the vicinity of 2000. But that was after the fact, after we told her that Sagan had died in 1996. Now, the only way he could be there in 2000 if they had a friggin' really big heater and some really strong smelling salts. Shout out to Flatsy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Like I said, who's that? What do you want?
Sound like Brian stumbled in. Like, actually stumbled in. Evening, Brian.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry, too much wind. Can't talk. Too much background.
Thank the Lord.
Well, hey, Mr. Potato.
Hello. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we've got TVO. I think it's to the end of this. Anyway, my new policy is to go for 30 seconds-ish, depending on the how long their topic is. I'll let them go for a minute, maybe even longer. But we're going to go for a amount of time, and then we're going to circle back and then deal with any of the nonsense they say. So here we go.
Pathetic. Jim, I'm going to begin my line of questioning for you with my memory of what I think was a 9th or 10th grade science textbook, which described...
Science textbook? What's a burk? Sorry about that. Had to stop it with that.
The Uri Miller experiment, 1952.
Miller, shut up, Flatsy. The Uri Miller
experiment. If we'd have done that, you'd have said, no, the new rules.
All right.
Rules for me, but not for me, is it?
Yeah. Starting already.
With my memory of what I think was a 9th or 10th grade science textbook, which described the Uri Miller experiment, 1952, a couple of professors at the University of Chicago develop a closed system of glass tubes, and they insert water to represent...
All right, this is some bullshit. We're going to go over this right now. We're not going 30 seconds.
Abandon all rules.
Shut up.
Anarchy.
No, it's not anarchy. I just want to point out this is friggin' crackhead stuff right here, boy. So the Miller-Urey experiment, this is a joke, by the way. This experiment wasn't an experiment, number one. Number two, what they got out of this was a tear-jerking belly laugher, and what they started with was even funnier. So, lower chamber right here, they got circled, boiling water. So they're trying to represent these glue sniffers, Miller and Urey back in the day, of the early paradox atmosphere or early Earth conditions. What was there? Who was there to witness these conditions? First off, boiling water out.
See, I started off right. Ooh, that looks a bit familiar. So I've zoomed in and had a look and gone, oh, that looks nice. And then you've gone, this is what they're trying to do. And I've gone, oh, okay, then. Then it suddenly doesn't look good anymore. It suddenly looks like lunacy.
Yeah,
however, see, it looks like a lab experiment, doesn't it? And then you just described what they're trying to replicate, the early Earth or early whatever. It doesn't really matter, does it? But, okay. But I like it, and it's a nice diagram.
It is a nice diagram. I dealt with this back in the Evo.
Do you remember in the 9th and 10th grade when you used to have stencils of all these things and you'd have to put them together to draw your apparatus?
Yes.
No, that's getting old there. But...
Yeah, that's.
Do you think they have computers now or the kids, or do you think they don't do it?
I have no idea.
Because that's why it caught my eye. Because this was when you were early science, you're setting up your experiment. You described it in full. Do you know what I mean? Even drawing the bits of lab equipment.
Sure.
This is not an experiment, from what you've said, Dave.
Yeah, this is.
Carry on.
Yeah, this is an experiment. This is just glue sniffing idiocy that just from somebody's mind, and it's got a load of presuppositions that can't be validated. But anyway, so. This one cracked me up when I first seen it. Boiling water. Okay. Water vapor. Shout out to Sean the Crackhead Hawkins and everyone over at Jose JG Retard Show that's dead. So I got a vacuum pump here. They have vacuum pumps back in earlier. I'm just asking. So it's going up. Follow the arrows. We got a spark discharge. Upper chamber, which represents the atmosphere. This represents their paradox. In other words, spark discharge, where they have methane, ammonia.
Because there is the paradox, isn't it? To represent their atmosphere, they need a container, don't they? Look,
nice.
Look at that.
Nice catch, Adam. Very nice catch. I'm beside myself that I didn't catch that. All right, fair enough. Good one. Yeah, there you go. There's their fairy tale paradox, which I don't know why, but I guess, but let's just throw some methane, ammonia, water vapor, and hydrogen gas in there. Now, I know why they needed the ammonia. Because they're going to have a problem with nitrogen. They're going to have a nitrogen source. How did they know that all these were here in early Earth? They don't. I guess they have condensers back on the early Earth too.
Where's the nitrogen? No, you know the big inert thing that's going to dilute everything that is here.
They have it. They hope it's going to get clipped from ammonia. That's why they.
It's the atmosphere, and 70% nitrogen in it. So come on, we're going to set it up. We have to set it up. We can't say, well, back then I don't think there was any nitrogen. We'll stick a bit of ammonia in.
Yeah, that inert nitrogen. What's that? A triple bond nitrogen gas?
Just dilution.
I think it is. I think that's a triple bond, if I'm not friggin' mistaken. Nitrogen, triple bond. Oh, I should put gas, nitrogen gas. Triple bond, nitrogen gas.
Yeah.
Give me a damn image.
You can see it.
There it is.
See it. You can see the free electrons.
Yeah. Triple bond. Yeah, that'd be a hard monkey to crack. But guess what? How they could crack it, Adam? That spark, well, not a spark discharge. They're going to have some serious energy because we do get nitrogen gas. But it's already nitrogen gas. We get nitrogen in the soil and things from lightning because the plasma breaks that bond. So part of, I think it's like 15% of the Earth's nitrogen comes from lightning storms across the surface of the Earth. Something like that. It's 15%. The other ones are denitrifying bacteria and stuff. But go ahead, Adam. You want to say something?
No, I'm not, because that's getting too My point is that that's not the Earth's atmosphere, whatever, or atmo, however you want to describe it. It seems seems like a setup to try and sci-fi something. This is Doctor Who again. This is like get all the right ingredients together and then ignite it all, and you might elucidate some kind of organic compound.
Yeah, that's exactly what they tried to do.
Is that what they're going to do? Right.
Yeah, and it was a setup. Just like you said, this is a setup. Right? And then back in the day now, there's a lot of different stories that came out when I was in Evo Tardville, because those glue sniffers brought this up as some kind of proof of something. I just fucking grabbed it by its short hairs and just started pummeling it to death, chemically speaking. But all they got out of this little friggin' fiasco here was the real simple amino acids. They got alanine and glycine, a lot of them. Now, in later years, they started coming out saying that they got others. Whether they retested the final materials, I don't know. It was a whole muddled picture. But they just got some amino acids, right? And not all were the alphas, by the way. But mainly they got the simplest ones, alanine and glycine. And they had a chirality problem. And you can speak to this, Adam, because this had some impacts with chirality in association with the, I always screw this up, the thalidomide disaster. Did I say that correctly?
Thalidomide.
Thalidomide. That exactly. Disaster with pregnant women, and they had some problems with the chirality. We ain't going to get into all this great depth and stuff. In other words, they just got a couple little amino acids, right, in this experiment, and they were all, whoa, we're getting close to solving this life thing. Of course, they would all they would all succumb to the other organic compounds with cross reactions. I never got into what pH that they got at the end, or maybe I forgot. But there's all kind of cross reactions. There was all kind of other amines that they got. Basically tar. And they had to stop this monkey quick, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have any amino acids left. So this was a belly laughing setup. Anybody with a chemistry, any association with chemistry, even undergrad chemistry, would just belly laugh over this shit. And back then, I tore this to pieces. It's a joke.
Did they ever get to the conclusion that, at least from a chemical point of view, everything had to be here from day one?
They came to the conclusion, they were just reaching, that this was the start. This essentially was the start of the origin of life research, essentially.
They were wrong.
And by the way, there's no DNA, RNA, no sugars, no nothing here. There was just a couple of amino acids that they had to stop real quick, or they wouldn't even have those. So this was a tear-jerking belly laugher. Just wanted to give you some back history with it.
So what you're saying is they took a couple of the elements, let's just say, that are out there chemically, and that allowed them like a very small amount of success. If they just used all of what's there, then they wouldn't have any problems at all.
No, yeah, they wouldn't have anything. They could have used anything they wanted here; it wouldn't have mattered. But it's pretty funny that they chose these guys, and the boiling of the water. that shit cracks me up right there. The boiling of the water.
I was waiting for you to say something about them needing a container. And I couldn't come in, I was driving, and then Adam came in and said it. So someone said it.
Yeah,
it's like you can't have these things without containers.
Yeah, Adam caught him. Cheeky bastard. All right, here we go.
Years ago.
Oh, sorry.
One thing. So years ago, it may have been Kent Hovind, I can't remember, but it's a decade or more. But one of the things that was conspicuously missing from this witch's brew was oxygen, because oxygen, as I understand it, oxidization would have occurred and would have destroyed whatever they tried to create right away.
Yeah, that's correct. Kent was right. Yep. I think I did point that out. Got this written up somewhere. Back there and do that. Where would I hold up? Abiogenesis, it might be there. This was many moons ago, man. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. There's attack on two fronts. Oh, we're going to get to that. Menu formation, what the Miller. I'm just looking through this real quick, and if it's not here, we're moving on. Abiogenesis, yeah. Or abiogenesis, what I like to call it. Here's something pretty funny. Remember I told you they started Origin of Life research in 1952. Leslie Orgel, Dr. Leslie Orgel, was good buddies with Miller and Urey, by the way. Just want you to know that. So, 50 years later, this is what Dr. Leslie Orgel said after all his research for 50 years, right before he passed away. The implausibility of metabolic cycles on prebiotic Earth. Yeah, like as if you knew from PLOS biology. However, solutions offered by supporters of geneticists or metabolist scenarios. What he's saying, genes or proteins first. That's what that translates to, ladies and gentlemen. Genes or proteins first that are dependent on if pigs could fly, hypothetical chemistry are unlikely to help. That's where he got after 50 years. If pigs could fly, hypothetical chemistry, because it's impossible. Just wanted to point that out. And there was a connection with Miller, Urey, and Orgel. He was also good buddies with Francis and Crick, by the way. Okay, we getting anywhere closer to Miller, Urey? Delia. We got DNA helicases and topoisomerases. I don't think you guys want to get into that. Miller, Urey, going once. Cell membranes. You glue sniffing idiots. Hey, Jack Showstack. Remember your dumbass? Never mind. Protein structures going once, going twice. Miller Urey's gone. We're not searching. I got it in there somewhere. I just don't know where it is. All right, let's move on.
Present the ancient ocean, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen to mimic the early atmosphere. And then they subjected it to electrical sparks to simulate lightning, and they produced amino acids. And what I remember dimly, because it was a while ago, but what I remember was, the strong implication was we figured out how to do the origins of life. They came up with amino acids. Scientists will be working on this. Sooner or later, they'll come up with a living cell.
We're gonna stop it right there. Did anyone hear the big problem in what he just said? I'm going to go back 10 seconds. Listen to what he says and see if you can't catch it.
Was we figured out how to do the origins of life. They came up with amino acids. Scientists will be working on this. Sooner or later, they'll come up with a living cell. Has that happened? What's
the problem? Anyone?
Didn't feel a problem. I thought it was a nice representation of, before you get into all this, that's kind of the assumptions that the layman has with regards to genetic science. And I don't, it's only like when you become qualified, you just see that the impossibility of that assumption that the layman would make.
You missed it. Hold up. They're going to jump all, they're going to jump all over it. Shut up.
It's an intelligent design. It's they're calling themselves unintelligent.
Exactly. Is that what Brian was going to say before he talked all over you, Flatsy?
I don't know. Probably wanted to beat me to the punch.
Hold on.
We're not on intelligent design at this point, though. They're talking about the energetics and what's required of energetics.
No,
they're just trying to force pre-organic molecules, aren't they? It's not about. You can get to that. That's the third nail, isn't it? But at the moment, they're not.
This is it. This is the problem, Adam.
Ah, exactly. Well, yeah. So that meme. Well, that encompasses it all, doesn't it? That includes all three. But to me,
that's what I was getting at.
yeah, but they're not at that. They're talking about the energetics, whether the formation of these molecules is even possible without life. And
no, they're not there yet. They're not there yet. Did you hear what he said? Let me play it again. You're way ahead of the game. Listen to what he says.
I think you lot are further ahead of me. I feel like I've pulled it back a bit there. To get to information.
No, stop. Listen to what this glue sniffer says, Adam, for God's sake.
But what I remember was, the strong implication was we figured out how to do the origins of life. They came up with amino acids. Scientists will be working on this. Sooner or later, they'll come up with a living cell.
Scientists will come up with a living cell sooner or later. Hold on, Adam. It's diametrically opposed to the people that they're fighting against. Because the people that they're fighting against, those people need to come up with a natural way. No intelligence. Because that defeats their friggin' story is what I'm trying to say. Follow? This.
There is no intelligence other than a spark in a chamber. That's kind of proof, isn't it?
I'm just going by what he said, Adam. He's ass backwards. It's not the atheists. They're so stupid. They've lost the plot, and so is this guy. Because even if they did create some form of life, it was intelligent agency behind it. That's against their argument. You follow? It's against the atheist argument. This isn't that hard.
I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm just saying it's not relevant at this point yet.
All right. Getting lost. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just skim by this point.
Has that happened?
Watch out, you're going to provoke him. No, that hasn't happened. That experiment, there's no doubt they made amino acids.
Guess what? James Tor. That experiment, huh? X. Sir?
He got his first X.
Yep. Let's see what time we're 21:17. Let's go back. 2025 is where we started. We're going to stop it right here. Let me put this down. All right, let's go back to 2025. Not the year. That's good.
1952, a couple of professors at the University of Chicago develop a closed system of glass tubes, and they insert water to represent the ancient ocean, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen to mimic the early atmosphere, and then they subjected it to electrical sparks to simulate lightning, and they produced amino acids. And what I
essentially two amino acids, the simplest ones, alanine and glycine. So they produced amino acids? No, they didn't. Not all the 20 essential alphas, they didn't. So that's kind of pissing me off a little bit that he would be allowed to say that when he's
the interviewer.
Yeah.
He's just kind of giving you what he was taught and not necessarily what's true. This is what he was taught, and he's presenting that.
Yeah, but it's I don't like it.
remember dimly, because it was a while ago, but what I remember was, the strong implication was we figured out how to do the origins of life. They came up with amino acids. Scientists will be working on this. Sooner or later, they'll come up with a living cell.
We're not going to stop here again.
Has that happened?
Watch out, you're going to provoke him. No, that hasn't happened. That experiment, there's no doubt they made amino acids.
All right, we're going to stop it right here, and because that's where we stopped it. So I'm not going to comment. We're going to go for 30 seconds to a minute. Just let them speak.
Acids, but the amino acids were just a very small amount of what was in there. There were many other things. and you have to stop the reaction pretty early on, or the amino acids all get consumed. They undergo something called the Maillard reaction, where the amine groups reacts with an aldehyde that forms, and it decomposes. The Maillard reaction is the reason that you put bread in the oven and it starts to turn brown, and this crusty part over the top. This is what happens during that reaction. Everything decomposes. So if you stop it early, then you can find some amino acids, but there's many other carboxylic acids, many other amines. So you have many other components in there. It's just a very small quantity. And of the amino acids, you get the simplest of amino acids in a large amount, the glycine and the alanine, and the other ones in a very small amount. And so of the 12 or so or 10 or so that they did isolate, there's one greatly predominates, and none of that would be usable in nature. Plus, it didn't have chirality, and so that's why it never led to life.
Jim, this.
Well, are you going to go back and replay it?
Yes, sorry. Here we go.
Very small amount of what was in there. There were many other things, and you have to stop the reaction pretty early on.
You're muted.
I'm sorry. We had this. We already mentioned this earlier, that this quote-unquote experiment had to be stopped at a particular time because there would be cross reactions with the other amines and the carboxylic acids that were also produced. Anyone? Anything else here?
Adam?
Not really. I think he's making the point poorly.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because what he said, if you listen, it's just an impossibility. Yeah, you got to stop it here, you got to do this, you might be able to isolate then. But you can't stop the beginning of life on Earth, can you? Just carried on. And he's saying, even after a short amount of time, all this is degrading. Sure. Even if you are doing your best to make this stuff in an improbable way,
yep,
it's still not going to then lead to the formation of proper organic compounds and then therefore life. Because even what you get, it's temporary because of all the other shit that it's making in there.
Yep. You got it.
Where the amino acids all get consumed, they undergo something called the Maillard reaction, where the amine groups reacts with an aldehyde that forms, and it decomposes. The Maillard reaction is the reason that you put bread in the oven and it starts to turn brown, and this crusty part over the top. This is what happens during that reaction. Everything decomposes. So if you stop it early, then you can find some amino acids, but there's many other carboxylic acids, many other amines. So you have many other components in there. It's just a very small quantity. And of the amino acids, you get the simplest of amino acids in a large amount.
They didn't get that large amount of amino acids. See, this is where it starts to get a little iffy, because stories started to change about the results of this so-called experiment. It used to drive me absolutely nuts trying to find the bottom line. What did they find? What was in their little mixer? Not that it was important, Adam. I just wanted to know, but there was all kind of stories and shit, and this is what I'm talking about.
The glycine and the alanine and the other ones in a very small amount. And so
these other ones, I want to know what these other ones, the other amino acids are. Just for general purpose. I just want to know.
It's kind of like how we want to know if it's sticks, or is it an obelisk in a well, or
sure,
something like that.
Yeah, I just want some specificity, and he isn't giving it to us either. That's why this whole thing's a joke. We'll move on.
Of the 12 or so or 10 or so that they did isolate.
Now he's saying there's 10 or 12 of them. I didn't find that back in the day. I'm not going to search for it again either, because it drove me absolutely crazy. So the main guys were alanine and glycine. It's a one big nothing burger.
There's one greatly predominates, and none of that would be usable in nature. Plus, it didn't have chirality, and
we spoke to that, the chiral part. that if they're not in the correct position with amino acids, left-handed, if I'm not mistaken, Adam, left-handed?
Yeah, levo is the organic.
Yep. With the sugars, they're right-handed.
So that's why it never led to life.
Jim, this is more than 70 years ago. What have you chemists been doing?
That's right.
What would they care anyway? Because that would defeat their purpose. Because that would mean intelligent agency was responsible there, guy. You're losing the plot. These guys aren't catching on to this. This is a very simple idea. The atheist position is that natural processes, no intelligence whatsoever. Because even if you do show, yeah, it takes intelligent agency to create a cell or what they term as life, then you've defeated the atheist. Does everyone get that? Because that proves your point that it took intelligent agency to create life.
That's why it's called the unintelligent life paradox or whatever it was called. It's the paradox.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
How come nobody's produced a living cell yet? What's going on?
What's going on? Because it was really premature to think that life would come from that. The more we learn about the cell, the harder this target gets. So every year it gets harder because the cell is
The more we know, the farther the target escapes us.
Right. And so even if we move what we think would be a little bit closer, the target is moved miles away versus millimeters that we might think we're getting closer. And that's how we know we're not even close. So you can track. Are we approaching a target? When will we have a solution? You track the distance to the target. And when the target is getting further away, much faster than we're approaching, it's not going to be next year that we find this. It's not going to be for many, many years. This is why I say all the origin of life researchers will die of old age before this is discovered. Their children will, their students will die of old age.
I'm going to stop it right there. You're about to piss me off, James Tor. I'm going to tell you that right now. You've done it before, too. I'm fucking sick of it. Fucking sick of it. 2130 we're going to go back to. I'm going to tear your ass to pieces. Here we go. Fair game.
Something called the Maillard reaction, where the amine groups reacts with an aldehyde that forms and it decomposes. The Maillard reaction is the reason that you put bread in the oven and it starts to turn brown and this crusty part over the top. This is what happens during that reaction. Everything decomposes. So if you stop it early, then you can find some amino acids, but there's many other carboxylic acids, many other amines. So you have many other components in there. It's just a very small quantity. And of the amino acids, you get the simplest of amino acids in a large amount, the glycine and the alanine, and the other ones in a very small amount. And so of the 12 or so or 10 or so that they did isolate, there's one greatly predominates, and none of that would be usable in nature. Plus, it didn't have chirality, and so that's why it never led to life.
Jim, this is more than 70 years ago. What have you chemists been doing?
That's right.
How come nobody's produced a living cell yet? What's going on?
What's going on? Because it was really premature to think that life would come from that. The more we learn about the cell, the harder this target gets. So every year.
There is a target then, James. What's the target here, James?
It gets
this is what's frustrating, isn't it? Though?
Yes. Yep. Go ahead, Adam.
Because the target he's describing it as something he knows is false, and could quite eloquently point out to people is not a viable target. Why? He maintains the target. Look, he doesn't even ridicule it. He allows it to stay on the table.
I agree. That pisses me off right now, James Tor. You're a pretender clown, sir. You're placating. The atheists and the evotards aren't even here. You're placating your own people. Dude. I mean, what on earth is going on here? James.
I think he's a gambling man.
He's got deuce 7 offsuit.
No, to the point that he knows he's going to win. He's saying, "Oh no, I think they'll all." He's going to say it in a minute. They'll all die before they get there, and then this is the frustration here. Why? Because you know it's an unattainable target, right? But you're not prepared to say that, or exemplify it. So you'll placate them. A nice word, John. You'll placate them with, "Oh, you'll probably just die before you get there." Pointing out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
He is saying that, but he's contradicting himself. Because he's saying the more we know, the further we get. Year by year, we get further and further away from being able to create a living cell. And then he's saying that I'll die of old age, all the students will die of old age before they get there. It's like his statement that the more we learn, the further we are away from it, is a contradiction. Is contradicting him saying that people will die of old age before they get there. Because you can never get there, but the more you learn, the further you get from it. It would mean when you learn whatever there is to learn, it means you can never get there.
Yeah, that's right.
He is saying it, but he's not saying it. He's contradicting himself. Yeah, not saying he's not coming out and just saying he wants him to say it.
We got it. Pedantically, he's contradicting himself. Right? But overall, he's a placater because he knows that it's absolutely impossible. When these people are talking about amino acids, that's 1/4,000,000th on your way to life. And I might be lowballing. This is some other horse shit, Dr. James Tor.
Harder this target gets. So
there is no target, Dr. James Tor.
Every year it gets harder because the cell is
more we know, the farther the target escapes us.
Right. And so
what's the target? Again, I forgot. What was that target again, James? How about the interviewer? What's the target? Clowns.
Even if we move what we think would be a little bit closer, the target is moved miles away versus millimeters that we might think we're getting closer. And
millimeters. Shout out to Brian.
That's how we know we're not even close. So you can track. Are we approaching a target? When will we have a solution? You
fucking mute. You fucking mute button. Why are you shaking your head yes, Dr. Stephen Meyer, in agreement with the placater over here?
You track the distance.
Fundamentally, though, see, it's frustrating for us, but they're all actually on agreement that these evo-tard atheists have got no freaking chance. And every year, the reality of how a cell works, makes it more and more impossible for their nonsensical attempts to try and create life from non-life. Yeah, that's what he's nodding at. It's just they're not being plain enough or taking it to the woodshed, which is our frustration, aren't they? They are exactly that. They're just placating. It's a bit cruel, really, isn't it? It's like pulling the legs off his opponent and knowing he's never going to win, saying, well, you might grow a new leg. You know.
Yeah, it's coming.
It is. It's not. The point is, it's actually not very genuine from an academic because they aren't taking the stance that they're able to defend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Target. And when the target is getting further away, much faster than we're approaching, it's not going to be next year that we find this. It's not going to be for many, many years.
It's not going to be for many, many years when we find that what? Life can come from non-life. That's what you're saying, Dr. James Tor. I mean, it's so mind-numbing coming from someone of your stature. It absolutely enrages me. You fucking ass clown. I'm going to pull a Full Metal Jacket on your dumb ass. And unwarranted. This fucking guy. If anyone knows this fucking guy, have him contact me. Have him come on our show. Have him come on our show and watch a disaster of epic proportions happen to this guy in less than 30 seconds. Mr. 150 patents and shit, PhDs everywhere. I'll leave him with that just pump the neighbor's cat look on his face in 30 seconds. Yeah. Watch it.
This is why I say all the origin of life researchers will die of old age before this is discovered. Their children will, their students will die of old age, and their students' will die of old age. So when you join one of these research groups, be prepared to die of old age without solving this.
So solving what, Dr. James Tor? What are we attempting to solve here? Unfriggin' believable. When he knows for absolute certainty that there is no solving here. It's impossible. Not only from a chemical point of view, a biochemical point of view, and information just trashes it into the incoherent oblivion. It's impossible on those three fronts. I mean, at the fundamental level.
Yeah, like get your own dirt.
Exactly.
Top left.
Exactly.
You know what I think? You know what I think is wrong with James Tor? He thinks that there's a possibility he might be wrong. He's not. It's like as if he's not convinced or something.
I don't think so. In other videos that he has, he goes through. Remember, he went through the delta G problem, right? Remember, we were shocked when he did that, Adam.
Yeah, and this is why it's confusing. Or disingenuous, or just, let's say, letting a poor animal flounder when you've got the information. He's allowing this bit, and this is what is this bit? Is it creating life in a test tube with a big bang simulation with the right kind of ingredients? You can not just make an organic compound, but create life. And if that's what he's describing, then I think his description is probably correct. If that's what he's saying, if you're in this camp where you think you're going to one day get the right mix and the right voltage and achieve something that is life, you're retards. As we learn more and more and more, that becomes less and less probable. If that's all and if that's my best explanation, my least antagonistic, but it still leaves me with a frustration that you can make better points than that. I'd say you're just letting people flounder when you say that.
He can kill it, Adam. He can kill it. You're trying to garnish this thing. He can absolutely kill it.
And yeah, and just with what you said, delta G, we still don't have to get to information and how life molecules and what information's in that arrangement. Yeah. You don't even have to get there. Yeah, he's just delta G is sufficient for what he's saying, and even now he's not. Why is he not jumping around, kind of even in a polite way, porting out how implausible it is? But he's politely saying, "Oh well, if you go there, you might die a failed man." It's a really odd.
Yeah. It's an appeal to the future. It's an appeal to the future fallacy for the opposition. Why on earth would you do that when you know it's impossibly chemically and biochemically? Like Adam said, we didn't even touch information yet. Just biochemically and chemically, you know it. PhD, you already know it. You've stated it in a number of videos. You said that's not going to happen. I mean, you can't even get to all the 20 essential alphas, amino acids, naturally. It's impossible. So if you can't get those amino acids, and your wormhole warp galaxies away from even the simplest life, even if you had all of them, it's preposterous ludicrousness, absurdity, and you know it. But nope, let's appeal to the future fallacy. The fucking guys, your opponents aren't even here. What the piss is going on?
I think what's going on is they're not saying the wood for the trees. They're trying to create life with matter and energy without, and each year finding out that they still don't understand or have the full information of the divine code, which comes before matter and energy, for life to happen in the first place. And
we're not talking about that. We're not indicting him on that just yet. We're indicting him on his chemistry acumen.
But that's the point. That's the point. Like, chemistry on its own is not going to create life. You need that divine spark. We don't have that. We never will have it.
Yeah, but even regardless of that, he knows naturally it's not going to happen. It's impossible. He knows that.
That's my point. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing.
All right.
He's not doing anything. That's the trouble.
All right, another 30, 45 seconds. Here we go. 23:39. Let me mark this down. 3:39. What other stupid shit you going to say, Tor? Or are they going to go to somebody else?
What you mean to say is that 70 years after the Uri Miller experiment, and a good many years after I and who knows how many other Americans read about it in science textbooks, the leaves on those trees, the fish in that lake, the four of us at this table, we have no idea where life comes from?
We have absolutely no idea where life comes from.
Oh, my God.
What?
What? See what that? Am I not validated?
No, and this is the frustration, you see. He is only talking as an academic in his field, not as a man. Yeah, you ask the man James Tor at Sunday Mass, what, yeah? He'll give you an answer, but he's not answering as a man. He's answering as an academic in his field, and his field can only answer like that. That's the frustration. You're better than that, and you shouldn't give that answer. You're in a beautiful Austrian hotel, beautiful views, there to give opinions. Not the bullshit that allowed you to stay in academia. That was a great opportunity, wasn't it? And he just
squandered it.
Yeah. But it's not only opportunity, he train wrecked himself. I mean, even chemically speaking, it's impossible to have it done naturally. To have it come out of nature, it's impossible. So what's left? So if nature can't do it, Dr. James Tor, and you already know it because you're a chemist, then what's left? What's your what's your other? We know where life came from because we know where it didn't. Called a disjunctive syllogism. Not only that I could prove the other half of that, but I don't need to. I can just roll that first one out logically, and I'm golden. It's on my website, by the way. But I went much further than that. That just pisses me off right there. We're not at quite. We're not quite at 30 seconds. I'm going to let this roll for a little bit longer so he can indict himself more, Adam. We're going to go back.
I was going to say let it roll just in case he is now going to present the dichotomy and that's the trouble. He's not presenting the other side, is he? He's just dealing with the evotards. He's not giving the other side of the argument or the consequent. If this is so impossible and you'll die trying, what's the option? Is there another option to this?
Let me go back. I'm going to go back.
Because that's ultimately why they're there. It's why they gathered these three guys. It wasn't just to talk about non-experiments and not point that out and waffle a bit and summarize very politely the weak position that the evotards have. And they surely must at some point present the alternative.
I had to stop it. I just got sick and fed up with it. I didn't go 30 seconds, so let's go a little bit longer. Let's see where we're at, and then we'll stop it there and circle back.
Who knows how many other Americans read about it in science textbooks. The leaves on those trees, the fish in that lake, the four of us at this table, we have no idea where life comes from?
We have absolutely no idea where life comes from. None whatsoever. And when people will say...
And you say that as a man who is a full professor at Rice University with 130 patents. In other words, this is not some snake-handling crazy person from the...
850 peer-reviewed publications. He's one of the top...
Oh, don't let me. I'll tell you what. I'm going to tear your... I'm going to fucking rip your asses.
I guessed that, didn't I? And they then provided the apologetics. I said, if he's speaking just from his academic field, then the answer is correct. No idea. Doesn't matter, 850, 852 peer-reviewed papers. He's still that sphere of knowledge that he's from will never give the answer because it won't accept the opposite postulation that there's a creator. It's not allowed to. You won't get funding. You can't function in that field and say, well, God did it. Because that's kind of, well, that's that then, isn't it? if you're trying to get money and you go, well, I've got an answer, but you're not going to like it. Well, what's that? Yeah, God did it. And there's absolutely no chance of us replicating it. What's the chance of funding for next year? You go, well...
Fair enough, but fair. Let me let it play for. Let me go to 24:30 or when I get pissed off.
Good metric.
It's a good metric, isn't it?
Chemist in the world. He knows the chemistry.
So the chemistry just doesn't work, and we're nowhere close. That's just one problem of 1,000 problems that have to be solved in order to get.
That's correct. So we're going back. 23:39. We'll go hard. All right, you're fair game.
Will die of old age. So when you join one of these research groups, be prepared to die of old age without solving this.
So, like I said, without solving what? We don't know.
What you mean to say is that 70 years after the Urey Miller experiment, and a good many years after I and who knows how many other Americans read about it in science textbooks.
And it wasn't science to begin with, but it's in science textbooks. I wonder why that is.
The leaves on those trees, the fish in that lake, the four of us at this table, we have no idea where life comes from?
Yeah, I don't think the leaves or the fish are going to be able to communicate any answers to you. That was a stupid statement.
We have absolutely no idea where life comes from.
Yes, we do.
None whatsoever. And
we do.
When people will say...
And you say that as a man who is a full professor at Rice University with 130 patents. In other words, this is not some snake-handling crazy person from the...
850 peer-reviewed publications. He's one of the top organic synthesis chemists in the world. He knows...
That's amazing. I love those credentials being put out there. It's like a facade. Not an appeal to credentials. That's an opposite type of argument. It's another type of fallacy, though.
I just want him to talk about the 850 things and the implications in there and how the energy requirements for those molecules to be... Yeah, this is... Why is he not just smashing it? You know him better than I. Little Lennox there, I love him. I can't wait for him to have a back. But why? This is his moment to talk about molecules. Just fold an insulin molecule for me, right? Just get onto that. That's the bit we heard when we reviewed him. And it's devastating. If you can get to a molecule like that, what you have to do to make it work in a biological sense, it's just improbable. Just from the straight chemistry of it. No information, not what it's encoding, that molecule, just to put it together. It needs life. This should be his moment on his podcast. That's why he's there. And he's skirting around it without deliver any cowbell. That's the word, isn't it, Kiri? Cowbells. I want from him. He's got tons of cowbells. He's got an alpine shed full of bells.
I'm looking for the fallacy that they're involved in, and it's not approval fallacy. It's definitely not appeal to authority fallacy, even though this is incorrect. That's not what an appeal to authority fallacy is, Scribber. Appeal to authority fallacy occurs when we accept a claim merely because someone tells us that an authority figure supports that claim. That's not what an appeal to authority fallacy is. Fucking idiots. So I don't know what fallacy it is. I'll try to find it and get back with you maybe on the next show. I don't know if we're gonna get done with this. Go ahead.
Yeah, he has all these patents. He has all this history behind him. He has all this reputation in this claimed science world, and all these peer-reviewed publications, and he still can't give the right answer to that simple question.
Yep.
It's to me. I know that most people go, it's an academic. Adam would say it's an academic thing and whatever. But it's like, to me, that smells to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
it smells.
You know, it smells like the flat earthers who, when they got the opportunity, they wanted to talk about Einstein's general relativity as opposed to talking about Earth and the realities of it. You know, this kind of thing. How come you're not giving the right answer? How come you're not? You know, that kind of frustration is the same type of frustration. How come this guy is not giving the answers that you know he could give?
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope.
Knows the chemistry.
So the chemistry just doesn't work, and we're nowhere close.
The chemistry doesn't work, but we're nowhere close. So is somehow the chemistry going to start working? You just contradicted yourself. That's a fucking X. Gag off.
That's just one problem of 1,000 problems that have to be solved in order to get life. So,
well, that's. Thank you for saying that. I mean, at least it's not going to take any X's away from you, but thank you.
We're very far from understanding where life comes from, and so
we're very far away from understanding where life comes from. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yep. 2438. Let's go for. Let's just go for as long as it takes.
There's other questions about why they would keep suggesting that we're close when we're not, but as far as where we are, nowhere close. Absolutely clueless on the origin of life.
Got it.
May I take a cut at the idea of the target receding?
Yeah.
Unpack that metaphor, because the target receding corresponds not to something changing in the cell, but rather are getting more and more understanding of the complexity of the cell. And one of the huge ironies of the 1952-1953 experiment with Miller and Urey is...
Sorry. Experiment, Stephen Meyer. X. We'll continue.
That in 1953, the same year when their publication comes out about the experiment, we also have the first elucidation of the DNA molecule with Watson and Crick. And what they discovered, and subsequent to that, was that the DNA contains information in a digital form, and it's part of a complex information processing system that makes life possible. So it's not just, amino acids are just building blocks of proteins. Proteins are important components in an information processing system that's reading the information from the DNA to make the important molecular machines.
How long is a typical strand of DNA?
Well, it depends on the organism.
Boy.
But,
a simple cell.
A simple cell.
Well, I mean, a human being, it'll be 2 meters long. I mean,
in each.
That was a really important question. 2438, and they're fair game.
What he said was the one bit he could have jumped on was when he said reading. What's reading? Reading. Now's the time to introduce information.
Yes.
When a cell's reading something, what's it reading? How the hell do cells read?
Very good point, Adam. They're fair game right now, up to 2438. Oh, not 2438. Where did I? Wherever we stopped, I'll figure it out. Here we go. They're fair game right now.
That have to be solved in order to get life. So we're very far from understanding where life comes from.
Well, you already know where it doesn't come from, James, so you're not far. This is bullshit. It's all bullshit. You know better. Even as a naturalistic position, as a quote-unquote scientist, it's impossible. Period. That's what you should state. But you don't. You're a placater.
And so there's other questions about why they would keep suggesting that.
Who are they? That's a good question. Who are fucking they?
And so there's other questions about why they would keep suggesting that we're close when we're not. But as far as where we are, no.
The Evotard, those are the Evotard? Yeah. Okay.
Nowhere close. Absolutely clueless on the origin of life.
Got it.
May I take a cut at the idea of the target receiving?
Yeah,
Unpack that metaphor, because
yeah, just on what Adam said there, because I was going to say something similar. Adam just laid it out when he said evil towers. Yeah, I'd say a lot of these people, correct me if I'm wrong, QE, but I would say a lot of these evil towers, they see something about some research that makes it seem like they're like, to the uneducated, like the creation of a cell is just around the corner. And they see that and they start saying, yeah, it's like it's going to happen more or less tomorrow, because they don't actually understand. They haven't actually learned and understood the complexities of the situation. What they think is progress, in reality, as James Tour and Venice did say, is like them finding out actually we're further from getting to that point. He knows he can never get that, but you think he does. But you know what I mean? That these people just go, see some little bit of research done, and then start proclaiming it's around the corner, when that's just pure ignorance.
Yeah, what they do is parrot wiki, mindless. Back in the day, you used to mindless parrot wiki or talk origins, and then at the other side of their face, you'll get a group of them saying that evolution, whatever the fuck that is, doesn't have anything to do with the origin of life. And then you're left sitting there like, okay, what? Wait a second, what? So you're caught. Okay,
yeah,
which way do I argue this?
Just been too dumb.
Yeah, he don't.
Yeah, they de-jump you, right? Yeah, it's pretty funny. But now we're going to get into, so now that James Tour screwed up, I think Stephen Meyer, it's not that I think, I know because we just heard it, is going to go into more of the information. So this is the second part of it. James Tour didn't carry the torch. So it looks like Stephen Meyer is going to have to. What are you going to do with it, Stephen? You already got another X for your experiment or shit.
Because the target receding corresponds not to something changing in the cell, but rather are getting more and more understanding of the complexity of the cell. And one of the huge ironies of the 1952-1953 experiment with Miller and Urey is that in 1953, the same year when their publication comes out about the experiment, we also have the first elucidation of the DNA molecule with Watson and Crick. And what they discovered, and subsequent to that, was that the DNA contains information in a digital form, and it's part of a...
That's it. That's where it stops. That's right there is where, as soon as you state that the DNA molecule contains information, it's all over for Evo atheist tards. Why?
Information can't be accidental.
No.
It requires a creator.
Because the Evo tard atheists, you might as well just let me do it. Because Evo tards and atheist religion states that only matter and energy exist in our reality. Information is neither matter nor energy. It's over. The jig's up.
How come I gotta know?
How come I gotta know? Because you did.
Well, I said that means that it can't be accidental then.
No, because it wasn't particular and specific to what I just said. And nothing. Did you hear me say accidental?
No, but my point being is that if it's not accidental, then it has to be on purpose. It can't be on purpose within their Big Bang, that's a violation of the fourth law of thermodynamics. They can't be accidental. It means it has to be intelligent design.
You should have said
There's only
natural.
one other route.
You should have said natural instead of accidental.
Well, I don't know. There's no accidental with God.
Let's point this out. Yeah, I understand that, but you didn't directly say it.
I think I did a brilliant job.
I didn't.
Anyway.
What in the fuck? Thank you. Take your time. Prick. I guess my mouse is acting up. It's the killer part. This is theglobeterminator.com. This is my website. It has proofs of the creator in here. And there's a little part right about here that drives a fucking silver dagger through their fairy tale idiot religion. Question: if you're an atheist, philosophical naturalist, or realist whose quintessential cornerstone belief is that matter or energy is all that there is, how do you account for the existence of information, por favor? When Norbert Wiener, professor of mathematics, MIT, in 1948 states, information is information, neither matter nor energy. I'll say it for you. You ready? Kaboom. It's all over right there. If you don't understand that, then bring in one of your slobber nurses and I'll try to explain it to you. You can't get any more simpler than that. Information exists. Atheists and evotards are dead. Period. End of story. Have a nice day. That's it. It's all over. That up. We might be coming back there.
A complex information processing system that makes life possible. So it's not just amino acids are just building blocks of proteins. Proteins are important components in an information processing system that's reading the information from the DNA to make them.
Those stupid atoms and molecules can read. So innate material can read.
Interesting, that, isn't it?
Inanimate material can read, in other words. That's very interesting. Can you show an example?
No, a cell. The internal mechanism of a cell is better at reading RNA than any top DNA pod from academia. That's the point he's making. It's the word reading, the way it's sticking out to me there, John, is just the fact that information is being transferred, even in the internal mechanism of a cell. There is a transfer of one part of the cell information to another part, which will affect change. That's the thing that destroy. Even if you could fold and put molecules together against their energetic favorability, they still wouldn't have a purpose.
If you don't mind, I'd like to flex at this point.
Well, I thought I got you to the point so that you could now.
I'm going to flex from 2010, circa 2010. My comment to evotard and atheists on this very topic. Right before we get, well, I did speak a little bit about the software, but just to end the biochemical topic, and what James Tour didn't conclude, and then we'll get on to information. From 2010, hey, PZ Myers, you glue-sniffing idiot. Remember I laid this friggin'... This was one of those bombs. It was an intercontinental ballistic missile at your doorstep. This was it. Never heard from you after this. You got a little ad hominem at me, and then then just marched your ass away. Yeah. Remember that. You're not as dumb as you look. After formation of functionally, sequentially, and specific complex motifs, DNA and RNA naturally, or functional proteins first, which are both physically and chemically impossible outside living cells or organisms, then to remain logically consistent with a materialist, methodological, naturalist, atheist position, whatever the flying Fukuyama that is, you must conclude when viewing DNA, the genetic code, and its attributes that stupid atoms and molecules somewhere in Shangri-La not only created the code, but then conducted a meeting between DNA and not exhaustive messenger RNA, initiation factors, elongation factors, and release factors, both subunits of the ribosome, all the tRNAs and the amino acyl tRNA synthetases, which then hammered out the convention, the meaning and software, and processes, 1/1,000,000th of which would make Einstein blush, and any conflicts to make sure everybody was on the same page. So it and they could survive, because no functional protein-y, no lifey. Of course, everyone attending the meeting, save for DNA, messenger RNA, and transfer RNA, are in whole or part functional proteins. Which then begs the question, where'd the first functional proteins, which are coded for on DNA and takes the entire process above to make in the first place, come from? Minor detail, eh? Then they closed the meeting and went for cocktails. Then at the bar, they discussed how they were going to handle water, 75% of all cells, especially the problematic ester bond between the amino acid that the amino acyl tRNA synthetases just forged with transfer RNA and profred that has a half-life of 0.5 seconds in water, where this particular process is all taking place, and the release factor that, with one itty-bitty H2O molecule in the A site within the ribosome, causes the entire complex to break apart and stop translation. See above. No functional protein-y, no life-y. Oh, and by the way, where'd you get the ribosomes? The functional protein manufacturer. Arguably the most functionally specific, complex two-part machine in the biosphere, which is a nucleoprotein complex. That's a football bat without the 49 functional protein motifs in the 60S, that's a large subunit, and the 33 functional protein motifs in the 40S small subunit, pray tell. You see, you don't have ribosomes, protein manufacturers, without functional proteins. But it takes ribosomes to make functional proteins. Please reconcile which came first. It'd be easier distilling Alexander the Great's tears from the Euphrates. Then, since there's no free lunch, and since the delta G for protein synthesis is positive for all you second law thermodynamics fans out there, had to bring GTP and ATP into the mix, along with all the sub-processes that make them, that are coded on DNA, because without the specific energy source, type, currency, placement, and timing, would be like watching the space shuttle launch after they sprayed the outside with nitroglycerin dope diesel. And I'm just spitballing here. I think you may need a new Just So story. Oh, and by the way, you see those initiation factors, elongation factors, and release factors? They are functional proteins. Where'd they come from if it takes the entire process above to make them? A little chicken and egg action. Is it like the space shuttle building the space shuttle assembly plant motif? Hey? Yes, and it gets better. Let's say I remove one of those initiation factors or an elongation factor from the milieu. What happens to DNA translation in toto? Huh? Yep, that's right. It's a football bat. It's a pillow hammer. You get zero translation, no functional protein synthesis. Guess what that means besides vapor lock? The entire process, DNA translation and transcription, every single step is irreducibly complex. Punch that into Wiki. Take that, motherfuckers.
Oh, right. There are back to the bottom. There are many parts that I wanted to interject there. Back to the bottom, right to the bottom of that. What year is this from?
2010.
In toto? In 2010?
Yeah.
I like it, sir. Yeah. Last week, the last bit about ATP there, we was talking about all the micro knobs. There's another one.
Yeah.
The energy between, there's so many. Nicely done. That's what, this is our frustration, ladies and gentlemen. If you wonder why we're having a go at people, there's something definitive there, if you listened, that smashes the whole argument, but not in a rude way, just fundamentally takes it apart and resolves what was an argument and gives you a firm answer. That's our frustration at these guys, because they're not, and they're better qualified certainly than I, but they're not presenting the argument to conclusion. They're just placating, as you said earlier, the evotards. And that's the frustration. But that was beautiful, John.
Thank you.
Go back up to the top. There was one bit as well.
Okay.
I think that. Anyway. Yeah, I suppose, that was it, because you started it. But it was just the meeting. It's that dichotomy. I suppose that the way to summarize it is exactly as you did at the end. It's like the space shuttle building the space shuttle assembly modules. That's the best way of describing it. In terms, I alluded to it earlier. I forgot the word ribosomes, so protein making.
The ribosomes.
It's like, seriously, it goes down to chicken and egg. But even then, you're asking, which did God create first, the chicken or the egg? In this case, it's quite clear. Yeah.
Exactly. You got, yeah. Yep. PZ Myers wasn't ready for the ass whooping that he was about to receive. I already had this in the hopper. I was just waiting. And then PZ Myers, during his that one presentation, it was right after Bones with Schweitzer, that I got off into him. He commented under the video that I tore his ass to pieces with. He ad hummed me and never spoke to me again. That was some years ago. But he ran into a buzzsaw, and he's a geneticist. Can't answer this, can you? PhD geneticist. Why can't he answer me? Yeah, because he knows fucking better. That's why. That was back in the day, boy. Go ahead.
Just on that, this is now we've got to the information and what's going off and which way around it can be. That answers the second point. How do you get molecules that are built like that? It's from life. The only way you get it is not random reactions between stuff. It's life that builds these molecules. And that answers it to me. And how does life do that? Because it's been programmed to do so.
It's been programmed to do so. And then we're on to the next subject, information. See, this was the biochemistry part. It goes a lot more in depth. Now I have information up here too. Where's the other one? About, I started talking... The introduction was the alpha amino acids. What did I do with that? It might be in a different file. I've got too many files, dude. Oh, I think I know where it was. Second. I think we already went through that. I thought it flashed in front of my eyes. Where was I at? This one. Information in abiogenesis. It flashed in front of my eyes. Where's the other one? You'll like this one, Adam. That's the information part. I got it in so many documents, the information or the presentations on information. So if somebody was I did it because just in case somebody was following me. Oh, there it is again. I put it over here too. Am I going to find this?
Which bit are you hunting for?
I'm just looking for, it's got to be here. Abiogenesis, got to be here. There we go. Of the approximate 500 amino acids known, 23 of them are the alpha amino acids. All life requires and exclusively uses the 20 essential alphas. Please show and cite source of the natural formation of all 20 essential alphas from their building blocks. It's impossible. It's physically and chemically impossible, by the way. This is one of the dirty little secrets you never hear about. It's really quite mind-numbing. This is as old as that other part. This might be a couple days older, by the way. But they know they can whistle past a graveyard because the utter ignorance and blind faith of their target audience. You could effectively stop right here, but where's the fun in that? I even had that saying back then. Once you have all the alphas naturally, and you won't, they exist naturally as stereoisomers, enantiomers, i.e. a 50-50 mix, racemic mixture, mirror images, chiral. Left-handed, right-handed. But life exclusively uses left-handed amino acids. There are exceptions, but not material and outside the scope of our discussion. To be functional proteins, you not only need their primary structure, proper sequence, but form, secondary structure. Form equals function motif. One right-handed amino acid in the chain compromises secondary structure, a.k.a. what you got left is a football bat. In every single origin of life paper with amino acids and proteins and sugars, we'll get to that. Take a look at the materials and methods section. Their other dirty little secret. You'll find every single time the word purification or equivalent because they sequestered intelligent agents deliberately sequestered. If proteins, then left-handed amino acids are chosen. If sugars, then right-handed ones are chosen. Before they even start on their a priori fairy tale. It's so far beyond unacceptable investigator interference and proves the need for intelligent agency just with that. Just with this.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. The delta G for polymerization of amino acids to form polypeptides is positive. That is non-spontaneous. You got delta G problems, and it's not a disco band from the fucking 70s. Peptide bond formation is condensation reactions. That is, peptide bonds won't form in water from both a thermodynamic and kinetic point of view. Peptide bonds won't form between two Zwitter ions. You know what Zwitter ions are? You got it. They're hermaphrodites. In chemistry, a Zwitter ion, hermaphrodite, formerly called a dipolar ion, is a neutral molecule with both positive and negative electrical charges. In some cases, multiple positive and negative charges may be present. This is the form amino acids are found in aqueous environments. Guess what's going to happen here? With all these electrical charges on these molecules, guess what's going to happen? If it's not distilled water. You take a wild fucking guess.
It's like a cat on heat. And that's what Tor was alluding to earlier. They'll soon react and decay, even if you've got it in your little test tube you set on fire, you know. So,
all right, we're back. I almost forgot about we're doing a video on it. Where am I? Okay, let's just roll from here. I think they're still fair game.
Like in the machines.
How long is a typical strand of DNA?
That's a really stupid question. What does that have to do with the price of hog legs in China?
I don't care. You somehow crowbarred in. It's got me. I've got to mention Zwitter ions. Brilliant. I say a cat on heat is. You know, when you go, I wonder where we'll go. And sometimes I got that old chemistry, and you've pulled Zwitter ions out. I like it. Oh.
That's what I pulled out. That's so many years ago, man. That was so funny. The hermaphrodites. Yeah, I pulled that out on you. See. Adam can appreciate this. That's his jam. So,
word you hear very often. Back in the, 30 years ago, you were familiar with them. But honestly, that's probably got me. I like it. Go on.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. I kind of branched out once they showed a creationist how to research Adam with a minor degree in biochemistry. I kind of branched out from there and did my own. You follow?
Yeah, but the thing is how relevant it is to what they've been discussing on that, and that's why it was wicked.
I can.
Because when I learned about Slitter ions and then forgot about them, I never thought they'd have a relevance in my life ever again, but they have this evening.
They gave a timid Doc Holliday a street howitzer. Poor dumb bastards. Come on. Come on and try it. What?
They never had a chance in hell.
Nope. No, they didn't. You gotta love it when that happens. All right, there we go. How long is DNA to look?
Well, it depends on the organism. But
a simple cell.
Simple cell.
Well, I mean, a human being, it'll be 2 meters long. I mean,
in each cell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so what you're saying is we now know
rolled up.
3 billion characters.
We used to,
but in the simplest.
Why don't you just overtalk each other on how long this thing is?
Of cells, it's going to be at least thousands of units long. But the DNA is not a protein. Every one of
DNA is not a protein. Why did you? Oh boy. Okay, that is correct. DNA is not a protein. Shout out to Brenda. Back in the day, she was on one of these hangouts. It was in Wild Wild West days, and she and a bunch of other glue sniffing globetards had a couple flat earthers up against it, and I just happened by it, and I heard her say DNA is made of proteins. I was stumbling, fumbling. I was jumping over myself. I got in there and I tore her ass to shreds. Made an example out of her. That's what that reminded me of, by the way. But
sorry, just so I know, before I met yourself and Adam, I knew nothing about chemistry. But even I would have known, with the nothing I knew, that DNA is not made from proteins. So, as somebody who would have somewhat looked at chemistry, which I'm sure Brenda did, would say that. I don't know.
You should have saw what happened when she said that she started going on about carbon dating, or radiometric carbon dating. It wasn't a good day for her. I got that somewhere. I'm gonna have to search that shit out, and I'll play it before the show.
What are these molecules? I mean, the amino acids are make proteins. DNA is a oligonucleotide.
He really knows what you're talking about now with the oligonucleotides. You're going off. You're not even talking about anything. You're trying to show him that amino acids don't make up DNA. They're a completely different motif. Is that what you're trying to show him?
And so you need to solve the sugar problem. And
now you're on the sugars. Well, of course, that's a DNA and RNA. Ribose and deoxyribose. That's what he's on now. But this guy, you're talking to him. He doesn't know what the hell you're talking about. He just wants to know how long they are.
You need to solve
to create, if we were to create this on our own.
Yeah, I mean, DNA is a whole different class of compounds. So there are 4 different classes of.
Yeah, the one that Urey and Miller didn't sniff around, by the way. Just 2 itty bitty amino acids at best, and I question that. Alanine and glycine. I don't need to question it. It's a belly laugher.
Of compounds that were made out of. None of these have been solved. Miller-Urey just looked at the building blocks of the building blocks, and that was a mess.
Okay, and then you got to link the building blocks, and then you got to sequence them properly.
And they don't want to link.
Hold on. So grant every bit of that.
They don't want to link, Adam.
We've got to sequence them properly. According to what?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question right there. That's off my point. Where did you go? Bryan's University? But
sorry,
but no.
Just naively, I was responding to the video.
But it was a good point. Nonetheless,
Did you get there by Travel Air?
Nonetheless, it was still a good point. Shut up, Bryan.
But here's what's in my head is
there's not very much in there.
Understand it correctly. Way back in the days of Charles Darwin, the general assumption about
what?
You're on mute.
I don't know why we're headed back to Darwin here. We haven't listened to this yet, so I'm going to take a stab at it. Remember, I don't know how many times I've ran into evotards, about 10 of them at once, and they would go on and on about how evolution, whatever the fuck that is, and yes, I'm still laughing, had nothing to do with the origin of life. So why would Darwin now have something to do with the origin of life, Mr. Interviewer?
He wouldn't have. I mean, evolution, whatever that is, has no bearing on the creation of life.
Unless they show.
It would only be...
Unless they define evolution and then with the scientific theory of evolution show that it has something to do with the origin of life. That's the only time that they could do this. But it seems like somebody's been Jedi mind tricked, the interviewer, and probably all on their panel and thinking something. I don't know. Listen, let's go from here. 2656, we'll go from here and I'll let her budge. How about that?
Exactly. Way back in the days of Charles Darwin, the general assumption about the single cell that it was a simple form of life. There was some sort of vague notion that it was like a little blob of jello, or that it was simple. Yep. And now we look inside every single one of cells, and it's as though we find a code or written instructions 2 meters long. In every single cell. Is that correct?
Well, in a human cell, it'll be that long. In a simple cell, it'll be shorter. But you still have all these levels of molecules that you have to deal with. It's so much more complex than what you're thinking. So much more. So
it's more complex than my
you're just looking at one little thing. And so now when you look into the cell next year, you see more that you'll have to solve in order to get the simplest of cells to work. So we want to look at the simplest of cells, something like a bacterium, something very simple. Even with that, there's so many layers of communication that you have to have. It's not just taking all these classes of compounds and throwing them into the lipid membrane. That would be like saying I could take all the parts of the engine of my car, take them all apart, and throw them into the passenger compartment. And if I just wait long enough and shake it long enough, that engine would assemble, mount itself, and everything would start working again. Nobody would think that. That's exactly what you're saying if you had all the pieces.
These are crazy men. I want to talk to somebody reasonable. So
let's stop it right there. That's pretty funny. Wasn't a bad analogy. A lot of materialists don't like the analogy because it's not an aqueous environment, and these pieces are not, flowing together and stuff like that. They got a point, but they're too stupid to realize the point that they make, so I don't really go around. I just laugh at them. But anyway, let's go back to 2656. These guys are fair game. Second?
Are they suffering from, we have all the parts that should work?
They're suffering. No, they're suffering from being dumbasses. Uneducated, illiterate dumbasses. That's what they're suffering from.
Way back in the days of Charles Darwin, the general assumption about the single cell that it was a simple form of life. There was some sort of vague notion that it was like a little blob of jello, or that it was simple. And now
it was just a little blob of jello. That's what it was. We went over this in one of my earlier presentations.
We look inside every single one of cells, and it's as though we find a code.
It's not as though we found. No, that's what you find.
Or written instructions 2 meters long. In every single...
The length is...
He's not going to let that go, is he?
He's not going to let that go.
That's his little factoid, and he's going to share it.
This is the white paper technical language. Oh, boy. Like amateur night. Just the interviewer at this point.
Single cell, is that correct?
Well, in a human cell, it'll be that long. In a simple cell, it'll be shorter. But you still have all these levels of molecules that you have to deal with. It's so much more complex than what you're thinking. So much more. So
it's more complex than
you're just looking at one little thing. And so now when you look into the cell next year, you see more that you'll have to solve in order to get the simplest of cells to work. So we want to look...
The simplest of cells to work? Who's going to do that? Man? Intelligent agent? You're crossing over here again, James.
At the simplest of cells, something like a bacterium, something very simple. Even with that, there's so many layers of communication that you have to have. It's not just taking all these classes of compounds and throwing them into the lipid membrane. That would be like saying, I could take all the parts.
Whoa. Throwing them into a lipid membrane. Yeah,
get your own lipid membrane.
Yeah. Well, not only, you're right. Not only to get the lipids, but the lipid membrane, the cell membrane. Oh my God, you talking about complexity? And it's just not the phospholipid bilayer. It's all these things within the phospholipid bilayer that are taking in and kicking out metabolic waste and taking in things that keep the cell alive. It's a fucking like a city. It's so mind-boggling. These integral membrane proteins. You'll be spinning around. You'll say, "Oh my God, this thing is doing what?" So you're not even getting a phospholipid bilayer. Even if you did, it doesn't have the lipid membranes or the integral membrane proteins and the other proteins in the membrane to make it work.
This is the little bit of cell biology I remember because it's related to antibiotic use.
Sure.
But that's why penicillin works, because what it does is there's a different mechanism to deal with osmotic pressures, which is the great destructor.
Yep.
For the chance of a cell. Just to deal with osmotic pressures, if you're trying to create a secondary environment, the probability is just like balloon burst. But that's how penicillins work. They deal with the rigid structure of peptidoglycan, which breaks it down so that the cell can no longer deal with the osmotic pressure.
Yep.
That's how these things, again, a natural process. But you see, just to get to a lipid layer that functions in the most basic cells without just bursting every time, the 1,000,001 things to get this thing that works is just, and then for it to change for multicellular organisms so they don't function right, it's just nonsense.
Yep.
And this is the point they're alluding to. The more you learn, the bigger the story, the more improbable the story has to become.
Yep.
Instead of just having a creator.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Sorry, I was going to say that information that Adam just gave there is the fart sniffing stuff that Nathan refers to on his show.
Oh, this is This is we're an amateur night right now. It's so they don't know what they're talking about. He does. I don't know if he should have brought this subject up to the interviewer. It might send him off the reservation. But I think everyone gets our point, Adam.
And penicillin, that's just one of the daily things to have a cell be alive. It's one of tens of millions of processes.
Knobs. Last week's thing.
Is that your knobs?
Yeah, that's what they were saying, wasn't it? We were saying 12 knobs, 10 knobs. This is the point. It's not. It's tens of thousands of knobs. And this is what they're alluding to. Last week, I thought it was just a dozen knobs. This week, I'm at 1,000, and I know next week it'll be 20,000 knobs.
Yep. Are you a knobhead?
Some have called me that.
Are you trying to point out that it's like a walking to, let's just say, Nashville in a straight line, and you get to a signpost and it says Nashville, 5 miles. You keep walking in a straight line, you get to another signpost and it says Nashville, 80 miles.
80
It's like you're never getting there.
You're giving those guys credence. There's no signs. The signs say "Do not enter." Strictly verboten. I remember reading that sign. It's German for "You're not coming in this motherfucker."
Of the engine of my car, take them all apart and throw them into the passenger compartment.
This is like the tornado example, Fred Hoyle's tornado example with all the parts in the junkyard, and then after the tornado goes through, you get a working 747. That pissed the atheists off to no end.
But again, you're at the same point. Who wrote the Haynes manual for all of those pieces to put together to make the car or the 747? Yep. This is still the point. Yeah?
Yep. It's ridiculous.
Who designed the Lego so that you could put it together and make lots of different things?
It's preposterous, ludicrousness, absurdity at multiple levels.
Just wait long enough and shake it long enough, that engine would have...
Shake it long enough. That's what I'm talking about, James.
Assemble, mount itself, and everything would start working again. Nobody would think that. That's exactly what you're saying if you had all the pieces.
These are crazy men. I want to talk to somebody reasonable. So, John.
We're going to go from here, 2838. 838. Let it roll. Let her budge.
It's just a question of time. Don't we? The universe is X billion years old. Even if it did have a beginning, it's what?
13.8.
13.8 billion years old. 13.8 billion years is a long time.
But it's not a long time when you think of the improbability of this kind of thing happening. I think the thing that really gets to me is you talk about this being a couple of meters long, but it's information of an exceedingly complex linguistic kind. And language does not get generated by natural processes.
It's language.
It's
language. Information, it's code.
It is language, information, code. And what Miller and Urey discovered was a couple of letters. And then once they elucidated the
They didn't find a couple letters. What's he talking about? We'll continue.
Coding the DNA, they realized that the letters are valueless unless they're in the right order. But it's worse than that. You mentioned the living cell. But you see, you need a living cell to get DNA. And you need DNA to get a living cell.
That's what I was talking about before. Good job, John.
So you're in the biggest of all chicken and egg problems. And the biologists will correct me.
What biologist? You don't have a biologist on the panel. You shifted your hands. You see him? See what he did? Let's see this.
Egg problems. And the biologists will...
Where's the biologist at? James Tour's not a biologist.
I think he threw that at James Tour. Who cares? They're all scientists.
Correct me. In systems biology now, they're concentrating on the fact that there's a great deal of top-down causation in this whole field. And there are levels...
Top-down causation, what do you mean?
Well, that you need the cell first to manufacture all the things that create it. And you have levels of complexity going from the basic DNA to epigenetics above it, the folding of the proteins, all this kind of thing. And in Darwin's day, and even later, Miller-Urey, they hadn't the faintest clue of the nature of what they're dealing with. You can have 13.8 billion years. You can have 138 billion years. You can have 1,380 billion years. You're not coming close because it's in the nature of the thing that.
That's pretty darn. He did a pretty good job right there. 30. Let's go back. 28-38, and it's all fair game. I let him go on because he was on a roll. Here we go.
Of time. Don't we? The universe is X billion years old. Even if it did have a beginning, it's what?
13.8.
13.8. Can you scientifically validate that, Mr. Nodder? I'm going to give you an X just for GP. Scientifically validate Mr. 13.8.
You can't do it scientifically. By consensus, you can lots of other people nod in agreement. Yeah, 13.8. Yeah, not 13.7. That's just stupid.
That's real. That's the real sniffing stuff.
Yeah. That is fart sniffing. So I was going to mention earlier, knowing what you're on about and being able to justify through previous learning that these guys are making a good point isn't fart sniffing. This is fart sniffing, where you're just repeating something you don't understand and can't justify yourself.
Yep. Got it, Adam.
8 billion years old. 13.8 billion years is a long time.
But it's not a long time when you think of the improbability of this.
It's not improbable, it's impossible. And time's your worst enemy. So he mischaracterized that. I don't like that improbable shit because it's not correct. It's not precise.
But again, so it's the same, even to the dungeon master himself, it's the same accusation, isn't it then? Yeah, you're leaving it on the table. Instead of just saying, you can't even go on the table, here's why. You're still allowing it. You can have this. He's saying you could have this much, still not. Hopefully, he's now going to say why. Why? I'll give you all the time in the world, mate. You still won't get it. Even past retirement. See, that's the trouble with James Toll, wasn't it? It was, you might not do it before you retire. He's now giving you 100 to 10 to the power of 10 for the length of the universe, which is 13.8 billion years.
Kind of thing.
It's still frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
I think the thing that really gets to me.
What?
Sorry. I tried to look. It was like you were trying to shut me out there. I wasn't shutting you out. Trying to get you to shut up. I thought he might go away. That's what I was getting.
I thought he tried, Brian. He tried, and then you wouldn't let him go, and he had to concede. I liked it.
That's what I got for it.
Go on.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with these guys? Now, I'm saying this while taking all conspiracy out of it and all possibility of them having nefarious intent. That if they don't have nefarious intent, then the main problem is they're too scared to admit to themselves that certain things are just impossible.
Yep.
You know, like David Weiss, when he was asked, like, do you know for sure without a doubt that the Earth is flat? And he went, well, it's definitely not a globe. It's like, Dave, you know what I mean? It's that kind of a thing where you just can't say the thing because you're scared of the truth. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's a good take if you take all the conspiracy and stuff and nefarious nature away from these gerbils. What's really going on here? Why are they? So the question is, why are they placating? That's the question.
Yes. Yep.
That's a good question.
Time when you think of the improbability of this kind of thing.
We go again. Improbable. No, John, impossible. They're different words with different meanings.
This is the point. Just going to start.
Right.
This is just to double down on what you said. It's exactly that, and that's what James Tour should have made quite clear in terms of the basic chemistry. It's not improbable; it's impossible. So any further postulation should stop there. But if you allow it, we can get to information. But that is the point, and that's one of crudely what they've outlined without really shouting it proud. That chicken and egg situation, it is totally impossible. It's not a theological bit. Oh, what came first, chicken and egg, which you can consider as an evotard. This destroys evotardia.
Yep.
None of it's possible without life first. Not at all, in no way, shape, or form. And in fact, the only way you can bend the molecules like that is with life. You can zap water with as high a voltage as you want. You will never get it.
How about if we boil it first?
Well, if you boil it first, then you're into something, aren't you? Because you've turned it into a non-gas gas.
I did that. A non-gas gas. I did that same thing last night. I boiled it. I had enough of the kitchen drains. I threw some baking soda down there, and then I hit it with distilled vinegar. And right after that, both drains. Right after that, I had some boiling water on there, so I gave him a boiling water chaser. How you like that? Those pipes are clean as a whistle, dude. I'll deal with life that way. Yeah? How you like me now?
I think the thing that really gets to me is you talk about this being a couple of meters long, but it's...
He's got John on this couple meters long stuff.
Information of an exceedingly...
No, just information, John. Just information. That's it. That's all you need. Once you state that information exists, period, not only within a cell, just period, it's the death knell for evotard atheists. It's all over. It's just as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. I know you might be saying, what the heck is he talking about? It's over. It is. It's over. Because it's a paradox with the evotards and atheists. And the atheistic agnostic paradox, too. That was pretty funny. I seen a agnostic atheist. Somebody claimed that they were an agnostic atheist the other day. I was laughing my friggin' ass off. Just think about it. What is an atheist? That's a really good question. If you take the regular definition is that they don't believe in a God or a creator. They don't believe, right? What's an agnostic?
Someone who doesn't think that belief should be held because they don't know.
Somebody that doesn't have the official agnostic position is there is not enough information, no pun intended, to make the call either way. So how can you be an agnostic atheist? You don't believe that there's a God, but there's not enough information to make a call.
It's quite a quandary.
I used to bust them dumbass crackers back in the day, boy. Left and right with that shit. I really had a good time with it, I have to admit. We can move on. Oh, the memories.
Linguistic kind. And language does not get generated by natural processes.
You're on mute.
That's it. Again, game over. Naturalist. You can't have information because it's neither matter nor energy. It doesn't come about through natural processes, only from a conscious mind. Period. It's game over. It's right here. P.S. Question: if you're an atheist, philosophical naturalist, or realist whose quintessential cornerstone belief is that matter and energy is all that there is, how do you account for the existence of information? Because information is information, neither matter nor energy. So as soon as information exists, as soon as you identify it, kablooey. I'm going to change this to kablooey. The whole discussion ends. And then we go clean the bathroom. Or the sink drains. You get it? Out there. Well, I hope you do. If you don't, hear this conversation.
It's language.
It's language.
Information. It's code.
It is language, information, code. And what Miller and Urey discovered was a couple of letters. And then once they...
That's taking a stab at it. Alanine and glycine, they're not letters. They may equal a letter, but they're inherent in themselves, they're not letters.
They elucidated the decoding the DNA, they realized that the letters are valueless unless they're in the right order. But it's worse than that. You mentioned the living cell. But you see, you need a living cell to get DNA.
That's what I was talking about before. I mentioned that previously through our little discussion. Yeah, you're not getting them naturalistically. You're not getting the 20 essential alphas natural. You're not getting the nucleobases naturally. Sugars, that's a whole nother gambit. So he's right.
Okay. But that's the conclusion of the energetics argument for the molecules. It's nothing to do. Yeah, that's just the conclusion of that. That finishes that nails the argument before getting to information.
Yes, correct.
It's not information. Stop rambling then, Dungeon Master. Come on.
Yeah, you crack me up with that Dungeon Master.
And you need DNA to get a living cell. So you're in the biggest of all chicken and egg problems.
Like the space shuttle making the space shuttle assembly plant.
And the biologist will correct me.
He's not a biologist. He does work with nanotechnology and stuff. I don't know. Does he have a biology degree? He might have. So I'll take it back.
In systems biology now, they're concentrating on the fact that there's a great deal of top-down causation in this whole field. And there are levels...
Top-down causation, what do you mean?
Well, that you need the cell first to manufacture all the things that create it. And you have levels of complexity going from the basic DNA to epigenetics above it, the folding of the proteins, all this kind of thing. And in Darwin's day, and even later, Miller, Urey, they hadn't the faintest clue of the nature of what they're dealing with. You can have 13.8 billion years. You can have 138 billion years. You can have 1,380 billion years. You're not coming close because it's in the nature of the thing that you do not get language-like complexity through natural processes.
So we're stuck.
No, we're not stuck.
No, you retard.
No, it's the opposite of that.
No, it's from Adam.
He had to come running back from the garden and shit. No!
Yeah, he even imitated slow-mo.
He looks genuinely confused. What do I do now? It's not possible.
Means you won, you dork. That's pretty funny.
Well, if there's a code, they're going in a different direction.
Oh. Exactly.
Because whenever we see information and we trace it back to its source, we always come to a mind.
You're on mute.
Game, set, match. Again. How many times? Okay, let's go. It's 3107. Let's let him go.
Bill Gates has said DNA is like a software program. Richard Dawkins has acknowledged that it's machine code. Well, when we see a software program, we always know that it came from a programmer. In fact, whenever we see information, whether it's in software or a hieroglyphic inscription or a paragraph in a book or information embedded in a radio signal, you trace it back to its ultimate source. You always come to a mind, not a material process. So Jim has brilliantly shown how inadequate these undirected chemical evolutionary theories are.
Sorry, I stopped it. I stopped it for cause, but I'm going to let it go.
Flip side of that is that there's a positive case for a designing mind having played a decisive role in the origin of life, because as John has said, information is a mind product.
But science, the natural sciences, as Jim has said, can't give us that. That's what you're saying, isn't it, Jim?
I mean, I sit.
That's fucking bullshit. Yes, it can. 3156. Let me write that down. I'm going to X you, Lennox. When we get there, I'll stop it again. 3107. I'm getting kind of good at this. Yeah? Can I get an 8?
Yeah, but now's the time that I'm thinking, well, we don't need it. We agreed with everything by what Lennox has just said. Well, I did anyway. I thought it was why use the term mind? Again, you see, is there any criticism? Mind. Why say that? Why not have the balls to give the implication? Whose mind then?
Well, he had one problem right there at the end. We'll get to that.
You know why these guys might be famous? Because they like destroy evolution, evotards, all right, prove creation without ever mentioning the creator. It's quite miraculous how they've not once ever gave the implication yet. Even now, mind. That's such an odd phrase that's like PC.
I think you're overly pedantic. I think the implication is, especially at the beginning where they were talking about God as a creator, you're just being overly pedantic.
I agree with Adam. Adam's correct. They never seem to say it. It's like they're always referring to, implying, but they're never just stating it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of horizontal, and you can measure it, and in that orientation for thousands of miles. That's it. You know what I mean?
I don't. I think there's more elephants in the room. I think you're being overly pedantic, both of you. But
we don't care what you think.
Say again.
Look, we don't care what you think.
I know. Yeah, I've been coming to realize that.
Always come to mind. Bill Gates has said.
Well, you do have to wonder.
Go ahead.
You have to wonder who is their target audience. I mean, how broad is it? Are they trying to talk to the creationist Christian? Are they trying to talk to the creationist that believes in theistic evolution? Are they trying to talk to atheists? So they're avoiding God altogether, or a creator altogether, and just kind of laying it out that this is impossible, but they use the word improbable. They're trying to be so gentle with the way they present it, which is not necessarily, in my opinion, but they could do, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's what I would assume.
No, we're just talking about the implication where they say it comes from a mind. But we all know that they're Christians. They have already talked about the creator previously in this discussion. So the implication is that the mind that they're talking about is God. I just think that Adam and Brian are being overly pedantic when there's much larger elephants in the room here.
Fair enough.
That's my take, but
No, I would say too. What they are, it's like a prostate exam, but they won't use the finger. They're not going to get there.
I don't think that's what he was trying to really say there, Adam, but okay.
That's what I surmised from his input.
Trace it back to its source, we always come to a mind. Bill Gates has said DNA is like a software program. Richard Dawkins has acknowledged that it's machine code. Well, when we see a software program, we always know that it came from a programmer. In fact, whenever we see information, whether it's in software or
information, game, set, match. Again, how many times is that now?
Hieroglyphic inscription or a paragraph in a book or information embedded in a radio signal, you trace it back to its ultimate source. You always come to a mind, not a material process. So
game, set, match.
Jim has brilliantly shown how inadequate these undirected chemical evolutionary theories are.
What? So now we have chemical evolution theory. So I don't know, you just throw another word in front of the term. Why don't you just define evolution? That's what I want you guys to do. And everyone that answers in Genesis and Creation Ministries International, I want you to define evolution, and then I want you to give me the scientific theory of evolution. That's what I want. Then we can speak. Up until that point, I'm going to slap you around like a redheaded stepchild. It doesn't seem to affect you. I've been doing it for years. It has no effect. None. You just keep on saying the same horse shit. Now we got chemical evolution. Well, it's definitely not a theory. We don't know what evolution is. Is that different than a regular evolution, non-scientific theory? Or is this another non-scientific theory? We don't know.
The flip side of that is that there's a positive case for a designing mind having played a decisive role in the origin.
You think there's a positive case? You call a slam dunk case information a positive case, huh? That's it? Just positive? You're placating.
Origin of life, because as John has said, information is a mind product.
But science, the natural sciences, as Jim has said, can't give us that.
Yes, they can. I gave you that. Right here. Did I already X John? Did I already X them? Does anyone know that I already? I think I did. That's funny, John. I got them right here. And I use information, by the way. Not only in DNA, which is the first one, information, but in quantum mechanics. When you boil it down, it's all information. Which path information? Same thing. Yeah, I do it right here, John.
I don't think he's saying it's not in natural sciences. I think he's saying they can't elucidate a code in of themselves.
No, they can't. It's not a scientific endeavor was what I got. Hold on. But I may be wrong. Let's go back. Where'd you go? Oh, it's right there. Go back. Let's give it let's give it 15 seconds.
Theories are. The flip side of that is that there's a positive case for a designing mind having played a decisive role in the origin of life, because as John has said, information is a mind product.
But science, the natural sciences, as Jim has said, can't give us that.
That's what he said, Adam. I say they can.
Can't give us what, then? Because we're guessing, let him play on.
No, they can't give us that. He's saying that it's not a natural science subject, is what he's saying. Let's go back and I'll let it play.
I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing that natural science can't give us a code, a developed code. It can't come from nature. It's
all right. I'll let him go.
Having played a decisive role in the origin of life, because as John has said, information is a mind product.
But science, the natural sciences, as Jim has said, can't give us that. That's what you're saying, isn't it, Jim?
I mean, I sit here listening to the three of you.
He was not helpful.
Yeah, can't give us
facilitator.
What? Yeah, he's not helpful right there to solve Adam and our dilemma here. Some bitch. But let me go back. Let's say that he was talking about that. That's incorrect. I even give hypotheses. I'll guarantee you John Lennox doesn't know what a scientific hypothesis is. I'll bet you neither of those three gentlemen know what a scientific hypothesis is. How much you want to bet? I'll bet the fucking farm that if I had them and they haven't heard me ask, they didn't know the question I was asking them, and they were sitting in front of me, I realize this is a hypothetical. But I have precedent. If I ask them what a scientific hypothesis is, what are the chances that either one of those gentlemen are going to give me exactly what it is? Which way would you bet without knowing?
Chances are zero. They won't.
So would you bet the farm? Would you be right? I'd go all in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
I get a loan from the bank as well.
Adam?
And the reason I say that...
Okay, hold on, Adam. Go ahead.
The reason I say that is not to be disrespectful to anything that they actually know or any education they've gotten, is that they don't get down to the brass tacks. They seem to constantly walk straight past, as you would call it, whistle past the graveyard, which is the brass tacks, which is what a hypothesis is. It's the brass tacks of natural science, right? You can't do natural science without that, and that being correct. That's why I think when it gets to the simplistic answer at the end, which is just God, they're scared to say it. Because the starting point is past the starting point.
Doesn't have anything to do with their knowledge of what is not a hypothesis, dude. Damn.
Yeah, it does, because I think that they're coming from fields where people a good long time back decided they didn't need to know that. Do you know what I mean? And that's only simple stuff. But that simple stuff is the backbone.
It ain't going to help. You can't get yourself out of this. What are you doing? You taking that slanting, that yellow part on a potato? Are you dicing that up and then chopping it up with a razor blade and snorting that?
No, I'm pointing out that the reason I don't think that they would know it is simply because they would view it as something that's something you'd learn as a child or something, or when you're in high school. It's like, that doesn't mean it's not important.
Jesus.
I think it's QE that's on the potato dust, Brian. I'm reading. It says my position, the null hypothesis. That's exactly what I'm saying. Lennox is saying what you're about to read. So read it, but that's what I think. You and my position and Lennox it's the same thing. The null hypothesis.
But he said that science can't deal with this. But you're saying he's not. That's not what he's saying, right?
I'm saying he's saying exactly the same as you.
No, he's saying.
So read it.
He's saying that science can't deal with this, but I got science right here. The null hypothesis. My position: nature and natural phenomena causation cannot create algorithmic cybernetic coding and decoding schemes. That's information. In other words, DNA transcription and translation. So DNA transcription and translation is the dependent variable. Yeah. So their
Before
position.
you get to experiment, I think that's what he's saying.
Okay.
That you can't get the. How do you describe it? Algorithmic cybernetic coding.
Yep.
So I think that's his point. I'll finish there, but that's genuinely what I got from it.
Okay. Their atheist position is the alternative hypothesis. Nature or natural phenomena causation can create algorithmic cybernetic coding and decoding schemes. Information, DNA, transcription, and translation. They have to scientifically validate this, or this stands, because it's the default position. Oh, I said that down here. So essentially, you must show that evotards and atheists ink, paper, and glue molecules authoring technical instruction manuals and blueprints. Ink, paper, and glue molecules are ribose, nucleobases, and activated phosphates. The technical instruction manual is DNA. If not, the null hypothesis stands. Therefore, a creator. That's it. I did it scientifically there, John.
Why didn't you say therefore a mind?
Because I'm not into implying. I'm into dead straightness. So, and the next one. Alternative hypothesis with quantum mechanics and the null hypothesis. I got it all laid out right here. And the experiments that back up the alternative. Till the cows come home, baby. I just put a couple in here to keep it short. I could put thousands in here now. So, listen, I'll go ahead and I'll give up on that one. I think he's saying that natural science and the sciences can't deal with it. I think that's what he's saying, but I'll relent.
I think that's a good place to pause.
You want to pause for the cause?
Second half's coming up, and it's like, let me check the score.
Yeah, but I don't have to go anywhere.
I'm on my phone. I can't watch the game. It's terrible.
Yeah, but it's not England. It's just a game. Tape the damn thing.
What? No, I'll have to watch the highlights. Switzerland 0, Colombia 0, half time.
That's a nothing burger.
Colombia I think we might face them yet, and they look a good team. Anyway, right, carry on.
It's a nothing burger, dude. Literally.
It's a festival of football.
Festival. What I've been hearing, this is what I've been hearing, because there's been a lot of YouTube videos out there with all these people coming to the United States, and they're thinking one thing because the internet and all they heard were bad things about the United States, and all they've been experiencing, I'm talking 99% of the people that's come here for however long, 2, 3, 4 weeks, that it's the direct opposite of what they heard. And a lot of them don't want to leave. How about that?
Oh, Trump will make sure they do. So that's fine. There'll be ICE agents there. Don't worry. I don't blame. I think that's what I've heard. People really like the place and found it nothing like the perception that the fake media present, which is not really surprising, is it?
No, but people, you get Jedi mind tricked, right? And you hear it over and over and over and over and over again, Adam, for years. And then you think that, hey, maybe there's something to this. And then you come over and you go to Texas, you go to Boston, you're flying all over and driving the United States, going through these small towns, right? And people, I seen one person heading back, I think it was a TSA stop. They opened his suitcase, and he had like 60 bottles of ranch dressing in it.
I tried a bit of ranch the other day. There's a ranch salad dressing, so maybe not the correct thing. Kind of all right on a bit of lettuce.
It's stacked in this. That's just the tip of the iceberg, man. You get in small town, see, we take it for granted. It's hard to explain, right? And we just take it for granted, and we think you guys already know all this stuff, but you don't. Right? Because and that's fair. No, I'm not talking about the ranch. I'm just talking about, just America in general. It's not. I don't want to sit here and say what it's not. It's a different animal, man. The people, in general, the people are just, they're so positive, and they're so kind and so polite. Unlike me here dealing with atheists and stuff. Maybe I give America a bad rap. Right? It's just not like that.
Not you. No way.
So, am I to blame, Adam, for giving people a bad
guy?
Am I the bad guy again?
I mean, I look at the world and I look at America's reputation. I look at Joe Biden. I look at you. I'm thinking probably not.
You get the gold is small town America, man. You'll never. There's no other place on earth than small town America. Just not going to happen. I'm here telling you. I lived in the big towns.
It's about India and China and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But America definitely. But like you see, I don't want New York or that. I want to go and see like the Waltons go and visit them.
Yeah, you want to come visit me?
Well, yeah, Jim. If I come to America, I am visiting you. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
Jim Bob.
Yeah.
We're setting this up. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna be involved. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I won't eat biscuits and gravy until they're flatses. They'll be the first one you ever eat.
That's the smartest thing you've ever said.
Yeah, but we forgot about Brian. Did Brian leave?
I guess he did. He ditched us.
That's some bitch. How am I gonna do? What? He probably lost connection or something. I didn't piss him off, did I?
No, he can't have done. He was only pretended 3 times that he couldn't get in and then got in. So
that's right. All right. Do we want to continue this or what?
I think it's a good pause because we're now in the end of a section because we're going to get into information now. So I think it's a good point to break it because the information stuff is we're desperate to allude to it. We've had to rein it in. But I think once it goes, then you should get these things lined up because they are really relevant and the teeth that we'd like these guys to be offering, frankly. If you do want to prove, that there is a mind out there, these are the ways you prove it.
You keep on going to the mind thing, man.
I listen to people's language, and it's very notable. And the word they've not used once is creator. That's why when you came to your conclusion, you went, therefore, creator. Not therefore. It's very notable, the language. And they are like, it is like trying to de-Christianize someone without mentioning the Prophet Muhammad. Do you know what I mean? But pointing out all the problems. Yeah, it is I say it is that they are fantastic because not one, every bit they've said absolutely leads you to the fact of a conclusion of a creator, if you understand them in the first place. But they never mention that. Well, they've not used it once in all of these conclusions. And they avoid it.
Didn't they say it in the beginning of when they were talking about God in the beginning?
Maybe get it out in the disclaimer. We'll point out that all of this is God and we'll never mention it again. Again, a bit weird, dude, when the topic at hand is really, where did we come from? Are we created or not?
I still think you're being overly pedantic. I think that they're... because they came out, listen, they're Christians. We all know that they profess to be Christians, and they brought God up. They did mention creator in the beginning parts, and now they didn't mention it here. But I grant you, they didn't mention it with their conclusions here. I grant you that, but isn't it implied?
Not really in this sort of arena. It's the point of the discussion. If you've got a theological debate with intellect, then give me the conclusion. Don't just tell me, well, it can't be this, this, and this. Particularly in something where there is such a clear dichotomy of choice. Then you should at least that's why the word mind resonated with me. It's such a weird way. It's correct. It's completely correct, but devoid of any. And this is the point. You said they're Christians. Lovely. Now, if they were saying, and therefore Jesus did it, right? I might say, that's a bit strong, right? But we don't need, we don't even need to get into any form of that, do we? We don't have to say border, Allah, anything. No need to bring anything in. But a creator, that's the implication. A mind is it's not even giving you the implication to me. It's a cop-out word that means you're avoiding the implication, which is, like I say, probably why they do very well, because they don't force the listener to actually have any real conclusion. You could listen to that and be none the wiser, really, couldn't you, at the end of it? If we hadn't have interjected, you'd go, see, yeah, really clever blokes
Don't know what they said. If you've gone for pineapple, I'll kill you.
It is fair to say that if these men are being put on this panel because of their expertise in their various fields, and they're avoiding saying things like creator, I guess I'm not going to hold it against them too much, because they're trying to approach this from just their arena and not involve their bias or their religious take, which is fine. But that is going to be the ultimate conclusion, right? I mean, if it's not natural processes, then by default, we're talking about some kind of sentient, intelligent agency creating this stuff. So why not just say it?
That's what I find confusing, because that in any intellectual argument, that is the conclusion, isn't it? Not skirt around it or avoid saying it.
Yeah.
It's almost like the elephant in the room for them, isn't it? To avoid that obviousness. Eloquently outline the problem. Yeah.
It's conspicuously missing. So, we basically have decided and concluded, because of all these problems, that natural processes are not going to give us any kind of life, or just even, the presence of these elements or these compounds are not going to do anything. Therefore, this must have been intelligently created because we've got all this information. Just say it.
They're curse words, though, aren't they? And they were put the other way, intelligent design. They are academic curse words, particularly in America, from what I've heard. That's you done. Maybe that's why they speak like this.
Yeah, as I understand it, from a professional standpoint, you don't go spouting off like that, especially in a forum or a podcast where it's going to be seen by a lot of people. But I think most of these guys have already found their home, and people know them. They have enough notoriety. They know that they're already believers, Bible believers, so they're probably fine.
And then there is the quandary again, says Owen. So I agree totally. Their position is safe, solid. People know their position. We know their position. Why aren't they saying it?
I don't know. And I think it was interesting. I'm going to go back a little bit because apparently it's pineapple time. But earlier when Tor, oh boy, here we go.
Anyways, pineapple time. Pineapple. I got a peach.
Oh, my bad. But Tor was talking, he was using the word we. We have not found, the origin of life yet. It's like, what do you mean we? Who's we in this? And then he was using the word they. Well, which one are you? Who's they and who's we? And he doesn't really say. He's including himself in this pursuit of finding the origin of life. It's like, really? You should already know.
And he does. Which is why they're there.
So how was I found out that did you guys address me and I didn't say anything?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Adam did. He called you out almost right away.
Did he? Some bitch. I had to feed the cat and then I got a peach.
I did go for pineapple, but there you go.
There is pineapple in there, but I seen that peach. My wife said, she bought 2 peaches, and I said, I'm not a big peach eater. I like nectarines better. However, I noticed one of the peaches were gone yesterday, and I said, did you steal that peach? She said, yeah, it's utterly delicious. And I said, I earmarked it for right now. I snatched her up, and she was dead on, too. It's a summertime peach, boy. It's absolutely delicious.
Have you got juice on your chin?
Yes.
That's a good peach.
Yeah, true. All right, Brian said, hey, I might drop out of the show due to tiredness. What a weak ass.
He probably has mono.
He probably got mono. Shut up, Adam. Say it again. Guess who?
Who, me?
Yeah, guess who?
Yeah. Guess who? He probably has mono.
Mono. Could be lucky with that. All right, Adam, what did you want to say? Why were you over talking me?
I don't think I was. Nothing of any relevance. It would probably just be some smart-ass quip. But I forgot it.
Can't do that. You can't do that. Well,
While you're eating a peach?
I guess you can do it while I'm eating a peach, but I know better than to drink anything while you're speaking.
Yeah, but peach, hopefully you can contain.
Yeah, but you'll say it'll just come out. It comes natural to you, like Dungeon Master. I mean, that sort of shit. That's what I'm talking about.
I say that with love and affection. I have nothing but fondness for that character, and I like John as well. You see, I think he speaks great truth. Like I said, this frustration for us. But I don't know. 1 minute I'm apologising for him, and the second I'm criticising it. It's very frustrating.
It's frustrating. Yes. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think you hit it right on the head. But it's just frustrating because, listen, I like John. Out of the other two, I like John the best. Right? Maybe because I ran into him first, way back in the day. But I like him. I like how he carries himself. I don't like that he calls himself a scientist and stuff all the time. I'm sitting there, come on, dude. You don't have to do that. Just say, hey, listen, I'm a mathematician, from Oxford. That's fine. You're good. You have to display some type of intelligence, right? That's good. You don't need to try to grease the skids with something that you're not. Well,
especially when the thing you are is amazing. I mean, wow. It's not like some... But that, unfortunately, is a critique. Does he want to be described like that? Is he look at the YouTube title. That's how people like that. Anything in this field. You're a scientist. You're a scientist. Again, are these the guys that are going to say, no, I'm not a scientist, I'm a mathematician? Will you stop calling me a freaking scientist? I'm a bloody mathematician from Oxford. Got doctorates in maths, not science. You know what I mean? So they're not going to, I don't know, are they asked? Does it bother them, that misappropriation?
How would you come up with a PhD, a doctorate in mathematics? You'd have to come up with some new type of math, right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you? Because a PhD, that's what you do. I mean, you can get a master's, no problem. But PhD, a lot of people don't know what PhDs are, Adam. But I don't know. I never looked into it. But to have a PhD, I mean, your doctoral thesis has to be new knowledge of a particular topic. So, but wouldn't that be limited? I mean, to how many PhDs do you think there are in mathematics? Did they all invent new mathematics?
No, it's not new. It's something new knowledge to the field, isn't it? That's what it has to be. So I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, so I don't know what would constitute sufficient to, like, I don't know. What do you do?
It has to be
the square root of 2. I don't know.
It would have to be a novel approach, at the minimum, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it's like I'm going to look that up.
Go ahead, look that up, man. Yeah.
But I'll try and find out what do you have to do to get a PhD in maths? What's the novelty?
Yeah.
What do you introduce to the field?
Guess what I got in this peach pet? Can anyone guess it? What's in there? I know Adam can. What's in there?
Worms.
They're not worms. I'll give you a hint. It's red It has a sort of these little hints of a cyan color. Shut up, Adam. So what would you think that would be? Ignoramuses. So no answer? Where's smart ass Brian at? Go ahead, tell him.
Still not come back.
Go ahead, tell him, Adam, or am I setting you up to fall?
I think you are saying I am confused.
In peach pits, there's always a tiny touch. Just a tiny touch. I don't think I want to tell you.
What's a peach pit?
A peach pit, the pit of a peach, that big ass seed.
Stone.
Yeah, the stone. It's like it's as hard as a rock. There's a little bit. I'll tell you. There's a little
cyanide.
Yes.
I was saying. So I didn't know what a peach pit was, but yeah, you get cyanide out of peach stone, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, not enough to kill you. You couldn't eat enough peaches to kill you, but there's little traces and stuff in there of cyanide.
Are you surprised I got that?
No, I thought you'd get it right off the bat. As soon as I said,
I said it because I didn't know what you were talking about. I was thinking peach pit. Is that a place he goes?
Like a club.
The peach pit. Yeah, so I said I was lost. I didn't know what was going on.
I was actually going to say that, but because I learned that from Kent Hovind too. Apparently, apricot seeds have the highest concentration of that.
Do they? Apricots do?
Yeah.
Huh. Let's find out for sure. We'll ask, of course, AI will know. Hardly. Which pit has more cyanide? Cyanide. Spell it right. There you go. Cyanide. Apricots or peaches? Let's see. Guess who's right? Apricot pits generally contain a higher concentration of amygdalin compared to peach pits. Both fruit pits contain amygdalin. Why do they call it that? When these pits are chewed, crushed, or processed, the body the body converts amygdalin into hydrogen cyanide. While swallowing a pit whole typically does not result in significant exposure because the hard outer shell protects the seed. I thought it's in the... who's eating a fucking pet?
No one. That's why you have to dry them, crush them, if you're going to poison someone.
But it leaves a little, because you can see the coloring around the pit. Pits that contain cyanide compounds, which are poisonous. Okay, fair enough. Like I said, you're going to get a little trace. Who the hell would eat that? You'd have to dry them, then crush them. Who knows? Platsy, you still
Even
out there?
then, how are you going to get Brian enough to eat enough of it?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
here.
question.
I heard that about apple seeds, but I could be wrong.
Apple seeds? There's nothing with apple seeds. They don't contain amygdalin.
No, if you eat apple seeds, then a tree will grow out of your ears. That's why you should never eat. That's what my grandma used to say when I was a kid. That's why you don't eat them.
They'll grow out of where?
Out of your ears.
I've never heard that one before. What other pets? Good.
Well, I was going to say, apricot kernels have amygdalin, lateral vitamin B17, isn't it?
Amygdalin. I think it's the apricot. I'm not a big apricot guy.
Yeah, I eat them, and I eat peaches as well. For that very reason, amygdalin.
I'm not a big peach guy either. Of course, we only get them in the summertime here. It's not.
Yeah.
This one looks scrumptious, so I went for it.
I'll tell you what, raising peaches is very difficult, at least where I'm at, because I have a peach tree. And if you are not vigilant about keeping the fungus off of those, right about the time the fruit is ripe, they just are covered in that stuff. And
Really?
You can't get many. Yep.
What about down in Georgia? They have that problem down there? Because I know they grow peaches in Georgia because of Georgia peach.
I'm pretty sure they spray the crap out of them.
Yeah, they would have to. Subject we're going to talk about. I kind of like this. I'm laid back. I'm not in a hurry or anything. Don't have to be somewhere.
I do. 62 minutes on the clock. 0-0. Switzerland, Colombia. Get this flassy.
Can't you watch it and be here at the same time?
I can't do both.
Why not?
Because I've only got one phone, and my sister-in-law's got the TV. And Marie's gone to go and pick up my son from the airport because he's coming back from Poland.
He's coming back from Poland. What did he try to invade? Did he try to invade Poland all by himself?
He's not German, is he? He's British. He's gone to just check the Liberation's still holding.
Send him on this mission from God.
It was his choice. It was his 21st birthday present. I said it would. So
really, that's really cool.
Yeah. So he's gone. He's showed me the churches in the salt mines. Loads of sites. Poland is beautiful, mate. The pit so clean.
Is it?
And yeah, you know, you said about cobbles. Oh, cobbles everywhere. Just beautiful squares. Yeah. Went off to these.
Well, share them. Don't talk about them. Share them with us. Let's see the damn things.
I forgot them.
Put it right here in FED.
1 second, man.
Yeah, you don't have to, not personal ones, but just general ones.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I've never been to Poland, but I was real close. I was in Berlin, so that's not that far away.
Where are we? Send you those two first.
I ate kielbasa. Does that does that help? Boy. They have a place in Pittsburgh called Polish Hill.
Where's that? Where's that? Lovely.
I like.
He sends me a few. There's the salt mine.
I like this over here, the keyhole. That's really cool right here. That's pretty cool. Is this like a bridge or something, or is this a church, or what's going on here?
Yeah, it's Krakow they went to, I think. So it's just part of the medieval town.
Wow. Oh, there's keyholes all through here. I'll bet you on all the windows and stuff, they got keyholes in them. Is that what they are, Adam, or am I just making shit up?
No. Not sure, me. Well, they'll be, I don't know, aren't they called arrow holes? So you can fire arrows out.
Why? Well, it looks like a keyhole. What do you mean fire?
I agree. They look like keyholes.
Fire arrows out of them. Hold up. Why is the bottom big and fat? Why didn't they just make it straight down? You could still fire arrows out of it.
So now you've got an option to twist your arrow to much greater angles, haven't you?
I suppose.
Bowmaster.
I suppose.
I'm only guessing. They might have a really big key.
that some Polish bloke brings along every year and leans over the bridge and sticks it in that hole for some reason.
What's this one? I got that one up.
Oh, that's the look. There's all the cobbles and that.
Yeah, nice.
Look how beautiful and clean it is. Look at it, unbelievable.
And where you're saying this is Krakow?
Yeah.
What going on over here? We got a ginger and somebody just returned from the Cure concert.
Isn't it? Couple of goths. Good to see that craze is still going. It's Europe. They're like 30 years behind, aren't they? Any popular trend.
Really?
Yeah, they've probably just heard about the Cure. It's Poland, mate. You know, so.
Jen had a question for you.
Yeah, Adam, you said your son went with somebody else, did he?
Yeah, his friend, and then this Spanish girl that they know from university who's like working in a place there. They met up with her as well.
Ah, oh, very good.
What's this? What's this? A converted dungeon?
Yeah, so this is the mines, the salt mines. So when the miners were there, they also built, because they were down there working, so they built places of worship.
No way.
Yeah. So you'll see this little, it's pretty Catholic looking, but yeah. So
interesting.
My knowledge is a little lacking, as you can tell, but that's the best I know. Yeah, there's all sorts of really amazing ones down there where they've carved it into the salt and stuff. But this is
like salt, like sodium chloride.
Yeah, I think so. The salt mines, and they're like, sorry, down there a long time, so they needed,
needed something to do. How far down? Do you know?
No idea.
What's this? Is this? Oh, I see Christ. He's still on the cross, by the way, and somebody kneeling. Two people kneeling. Is this? That's very strange. They have them. Are these sculptures out of salt?
I think they're just down the mines, those ones. Some of them might be. If you look at some of them, the reliefs, they might be in the salt. But I don't know. When he comes back, I'll ask him. He's just sent me a load of pictures, so I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Nice chandelier.
Plus, there's bricks behind that sculpture, too, so you can't really tell.
We're right over in here.
Yeah, it looks like there's bricks. I don't know if that's carved. It may be impressions carved into it. I could be wrong.
It looks like they're out away from it, though. Although they're not part of the wall, they're away from it like sculptures. That's what I'm seeing. I could be wrong. Looking for any police. Who's this guy? Suspect.
What?
They got phones, at least, Adam.
When he gets back, I'll get some proper pictures. He's only sent me like I say a few, just as he's. I was quite surprised how he bothered to keep us telling us he's alive, if you know what I mean. So,
how long did he go for?
How long did he go just for? A week. Gone for a week.
Okay. All right.
And then I don't know what that is, but that looks really cool. That looks like something off the set of Game of Thrones. You're on mute.
Is this where they threw kielbasa at the prisoners? They come up here and then just throw it down at them?
Could be. Honestly, don't know what to say. Could be out that. Looks cool though, doesn't it? It's like some off.
Yeah, nice architecture. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's very.
things that are being lost in Britain. The architecture like this being knocked down for crap in Britain at the moment. Terrible.
So what's up with Poland, man? What is their deal? So Poland. Deal.
Tell you what I do know is they don't have the euro. They had to get it changed to the zloty. So they're still not in the euro money zone. So they sound like, yeah.
Did you say Zloty? Zloty?
Zloty, yeah. Z-L-O, I think it is.
Look, I wasn't that far away. Look, at Berlin, I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, that's what Hitler said.
Well, you might be interested to know that 30% of the age group 70% of the 30-year-old groups have stated that they're not going to get the needle ever again. You know what happened? Yeah, 70%. 70%.
We're talking about Poland.
Yeah, Poland. I'm talking about the Polish people. Yeah, yeah. 70% of the under 30s have sworn never to do that ever again. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Find out what's going on in here. Etymology. Native Polish people. Polish name for Poland is Polska. It is believed that the name derives from the Polans, a West Slavic tribe who inhabited the Warta River basin of present-day Greater Poland. I guess they have a river basin up there. 6th to 8th century. What's CE? We don't play that shit here, dudes. It's either BC or AD. All right, dudes? So this is BC. Fucking clowns. Pole. Slavic noun pole, meaning field. Pole means field? Okay. It's a Proto-Indo-European. What that fucking means. Topography, region, flat landscape, so it's pretty flat. Alternative archaic name is Lechia. Did you know that?
No. I know very little of Poland other than the war sort of stuff. It's kind of like up out of the way, isn't it?
Oh, we're getting the Homo
But as you can see,
sapiens.
it's an old. You know, when I was on earlier about Belgium, you see, look how old Poland is. It's got all this stuff, and you know about it. And go to the Belgians. Go look at Belgium.
Hold up, we'll get up. I'm trying to get at least a little bit of background. I don't like all this stuff. I want to know what they're eating over there. I don't care.
All I know about Poland is that some great jokes have been made about the natives.
Yes, there.
I like Polish sausage.
I've heard. Yeah,
I've heard.
That was written on the toilet wall.
What?
Back to images. That seems pretty nice, man. Look at that. CNN, huh? I don't agree. Piss off.
That's too funny.
Get the fuck. What is your problem?
Right, 5 minutes, and then I'm going to the football.
No, you're not.
I bloody am. Still 0-0 and like game on, man. Then you're like hunting around for Poland.
Oh, very nice.
See, Adam, this is the thing about soccer I don't get. Now, I like to play soccer, but you're talking about getting to a game where the score is 0-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger, literally.
Yeah, but he's missing all the action, isn't it? You know, the action. He wants to watch every minute of it.
Adam.
Of course.
Adam, you can answer that in 1 second. These look suspiciously. They're very suspicious. They look like pierogies to me. I love pierogies, man.
Looks like some kind of Polish dumpling, doesn't it?
That's what. Yeah, I'm thinking. Where do pierogies come from? Anyone know?
No idea.
Now, I grew up on pierogies. They're absolutely friggin' delicious. Keep going. I'm not eating no pickles with none of this shit. Tell you that right now. It looks like rye bread or fucking some kind of damn pumpernickel. What the hell's going on here? A dungeon bar. Oh, shit. I'll bet you they'd say, what's their drink? What's the national drink in Poland? Can anyone read Polish? It went too far back. Hold on.
Surely it's beer or what?
Vodka.
Is it? They have buffalo vodka. It's a vodka, but it's got a stick of grass in it. But they have a special And by the way, pierogi, earliest recipes appear in Poland's first cookbook. So Poland is pierogi.
Yeah, because we, like I said, in Pittsburgh, we had all kinds. We're like a big melting pot. Polish, Irish, Croatian. It's just a huge melting pot, and that's pierogies, man. I grew up on pierogies. They're delicious, man. Absolutely delicious. This looks pretty good, Adam. What the hell's going on here? Is this art? Woodstock.
That's a good question.
What the hell's going on out there? Oh, damn Woodstock in Poland.
That'd be Vodstock in Polish, wouldn't it?
Oh, very nice. Very, very aristocratic.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, nice. Very nice. Oh, I like.
Can you still...
Say again? Go ahead. Jen was before you, Adam. Go ahead, Jen.
So I was going to say, can you still get pierogies in the U.S. now then?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they're not homemade. You can get frozen pierogies. I'm not a big fan. I like the homemade ones.
Right.
They're not all that bad. They're stuffed with different things, potatoes and cheese, and you can stuff them with just about anything. And then you fry them up in butter and a little bit of onion. I'm sure you can make a lot of different arrangements with them, but they're outstanding. They're like big dumplings is what they are. Like
yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, they are good. Oh, nice. Big castles and shit. Very nice. I thought they didn't have mountains. Nice. What the piss is going on here? They said there weren't any mountains. Those look like mountains to me. Oh, shit. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. I guess it looks a lot like Germany. Right?
Yeah, I was going to ask Adam, are you aware that Britain's going to be building a new Chinese temple-like building in the middle of the city? Did you know that?
What city?
City of London.
Oh, that's not in England anymore anyway, so that's fine.
Oh, it's fine, is it? So you're going to lose more ancient architecture to a new building. You don't mind?
I think well, I've got bigger things to worry about, to be fair with you.
I'm disappointed in you, man.
They got pickpockets in Poland. That's what they're showing here.
I mean, like I say, London, separate entity, mate.
What the hell is that?
That's a zloty.
Is that a zloty? What do they call it?
I think so.
Let's spell it.
That's what it's called. ZLO TI.
TI? What's this say? Zakovich. Whatever. Who's this guy? Pickpocket. We're going back again. All right. Poland. I'd play the video.
Right,
but...
I'm going. Football is calling.
I tried to keep you here. All right, we're done with Poland.
He's going home. He's going home.
Going home. Maybe it is.
Nice.
Right. I'll leave you two to it.
Two? Is that all that's left?
Classy. Well, you can carry on. I've got stuff to do. Last quick score check. 0-0, 81 minutes.
81 minutes and it's still 0-0. All right.
There's 9 to go.
Just before you go, mate, my claim to meeting Becca in 1999 was when we won the Inner London five-a-side football tournament, the 3 C's Youth Club, when I was the coach. We won the tournament. And on that day to meet Beckham, I came to Japan, unfortunately. Okay. So 1999, Central London, 3 C's Youth Club won the Inner London five-a-side football tournament. I was coaching that team. Okay.
Blatzy.
Maybe if we get to the final, I'll get the German boy to give you a call for top tips. Right, guys. God bless.
Nice.
Right,
God bless.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming out, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time.
It was brilliant. Laugh a minute. It was good. It was good.
Step up in this game like I'm hammering nails. Burst a flat plane, listen up, I'll tell you tales. Home Depot vibes on my tools, no fails. Level up my vision while the world just derails. Sharon said it first, now I'm chasing the truth. First wanna know, is he shilling or aloof? Now I'm flexing with the facts while they playing the fool. Flat earth, no curve, I'm breaking all the rules. Earth is like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they say no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. Rolling deep through Antarctica, you know what's up. Snowflakes in the air, yeah, we sipping from the cup. Well, Duffy said, trust me, I came out of the blue. Started from the hustle, now I'm building my crew. Wait, I'm stacking up truth like I'm lumber from the store. Got the blueprint, baby, I'm ready for war. See the horizon straight, no dip in my sight. Thug life on the flat, bringing knowledge to the fight. With this line, Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. So I'm here to break walls, I'm kicking down doors, hash street life, I'm hustling, what's mine is ours. A whole new vision, we gon' stack and we gon' rise. With my crew by my side, we defy all the lies. Earth is like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. So remember this hustle, keep your eyes on the prize. Earth is flat like a board, like the ones on a 5. We'll build this place together, ain't no mountain too high. Home Depot mindset, we gon' reach for the sky, yeah. So remember this hustle, keep your eyes on the prize. Earth is flat like a board, like the ones on our 5. We'll build this place together, ain't no mountain too high. Home Depot mindset, we gon' reach for the sky, yeah.
There is no triangulation in celestial navigation, so it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation, so it is actually triangulation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation to the GP. So you can draw it on your chart, draw a line there, and then you do it for all three, and you get your intersection. So it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation.
Are you serious? The double-speaking McBooger-eating, ball-tarred bum-sniffer wouldn't know what the sextant or celestial navigation were if they climbed up his arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in concertina wire.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
What the hell did you just say?
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
Say what?
Yes, a gas giant bounces radar.
How in the world can a
gas giant
be
solid enough? So yeah, I don't know, you
dumbass cracker.
So yeah, I was being a hyper. I was that was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
You are so dumb. Damn.
So what was the last thing you guys were watching or into before you converted? Like, what was that?
All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you one guess.
Is it my sister?